Saturday.
And we are live.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello. Not like I haven't seen a vast majority of you all earlier today.
No,
Right?
It's been a long time. I haven't seen you in freaking forever.
These are
How long
facts.
has it been? Couple hours.
So
No. Yeah.
For us though, it's been like 20 minutes.
3.5 hours from the end of last stream.
at the end of
Just
last
counting.
stream, yeah.
We each took a nap at different times in that time frame.
I took a 5-minute nap and then pizza was here.
Yeah, pizza be coming soon for us.
But I played about like an hour of Once Human, and then I'm like, oh wait, I've got stuff I need to do for the game. So I did a little bit of stuff that I needed to do for the game, and then I got out and took a nap, ate some pizza, and then here we are. But hello, Evie. So some of you may recognize this setup, others may not, but we did recently have a little mini series called Would Be Heroes, which followed the trials and tribulations of a small group of teenagers who had discovered that they had superpowers. I am turning my lights down because my air conditioner is off, and I am going to start baking if I don't. But going through it, realized that we couldn't really get what we wanted to do done in a month, like a once a month game. So instead, we decided to do a bit of a reboot, almost just if Fox lost the rights to the characters in the show, and now it's been picked up by the MCU. I saw that cringe. I saw that cringe, Fox.
Well, the cringe was because my brain is not working right now, and when you said Fox lost the rights, I'm like, oh shit, what did I do?
No, we got picked
Not
up
you,
by
Fox,
we
the other
got
Fox.
picked up
HB
by
Fox.
Sony.
HB Fox literally lost the rights to the show and the characters, so now I got picked up by Marvel.
I do
Not
have to
really.
say,
Not really.
I have the stream open, and
What
Louis and I
the
are
fuck?
switched.
Okay, somebody turned their camera off and turned their camera back on, because that was not the case earlier.
Wouldn't it just shift them back in the right place when we turn it back on?
Or somebody didn't have their camera on until...
Maybe.
Oh, I have my cameras on because it wouldn't have a background if I didn't have my camera on.
You know what it was? I don't know.
OBS hates you.
OBS hates me.
OBS.
I mean,
I
that's
never
what
turned
that's
mine
what
on.
happened when we went live earlier today. Was the cameras were all messed up when they weren't when we were in post. But anyway,
OBS decided to shit the bed.
so
Yep.
so this game is kind of like the others, as you see some familiar names here. But it takes place in a different time, in a different location, and not with teenagers.
So a different universe.
In a different universe.
We're traveling through the multiverse.
The other one was like
This is what our third
EU
multiverse?
Teen Titans type of thing.
Multiverse. Yeah.
Multiverse
This
theory.
is literally the third multiverse. Yep.
Can we not be in the Teen Titans Go universe, please? I hate
Teen
that
Titans.
No.
universe.
No.
It's like
I,
no,
if
don't wanna be in-
I
don't wanna
am the
be in that one.
DM, you guys are in the Teen Titans movie universe, which is so bad.
Yes.
It is
Let's
so
take that
bad
one.
for somebody's psyche, because those kids go through the ringer.
Yes.
Hey kids, you want to fight the Justice League? Too fucking bad. But you're not fighting the Justice League just yet.
Give us
But
time.
yeah, so
Yet.
system wise, we are, it's not necessarily kids on bikes, kids on brooms anymore. Kids on capes is still being developed, so it's not kids on capes. What I've done is I've taken Inspiration from the new Dropout series called Never Stop Exploding, which
Never stop blowing up.
Never Stop Blowing Up, whatever. One
I
of those,
like
blowing up,
exploding.
exploding. But
I prefer
a
exploding.
custom system that Brennan Lee Mulligan created, based off of the Kids on Bikes, Kids on Brooms things, but just with like a little extra twist. And then I threw in a couple mechanics myself, introducing a stress meter for everybody, and we'll get into stress when people start stressing out, as well as vices in order to reduce stress, a public opinion meter for when you guys do heroic or non-heroic actions, and other things to come later. Yes, Cass.
Public opinion meter, is that only for our heroes or is it also for our
Both.
Okay.
There
our
is a public
identity?
opinion meter for your hero, so everybody needs to keep track of that on their own, and there is a public opinion meter for the group.
Well, no, it was the our identities public opinion versus our heroes public
No.
opinion.
Your identity,
no social credit score, please.
no. You don't have a social credit score outside of being a superhero. Nobody cares
Okay.
who you are, except for maybe Tilt's character. Nobody cares who you are.
No, Frankie.
That's true. But before we get into
Stumbled
any
away.
of those characters, before we get into your secret identities on your day-to-day lives when you are just boring normal people, we open up nighttime in Metro City, a bustling metropolis in one of the cornerstones of infrastructure for the country. It's the turn of an age where magnetized rails and hover cars have slowly but surely begun to roll out in mass production. Almost gone are the days of gas guzzling cars and diesel hogging trucks, replaced with a cleaner, more efficient power cell developed by I forgot their name already. Damn, I'm bad. Bradley's family. Masterson Technologies. A leading cornerstone of the tech industry and one of the points of pride for Metro City. You can't go anywhere without seeing a Masterson logo on brand new cars, on mag trains, even on elevators. Anywhere you look, the city is powered by Masterson. Though, much like any bustling metropolis and cornerstone for industry is, it is rife with crime. And in the past 10 or so years, there has been a rise of meta crime. Metahumans, people who have the abilities of heroes of lore, gods, legends, flight, super strength, the ability to shoot lasers from their eyes, to freeze people with a look, have started to make themselves known in the world. Some have decided to take this as a means of growing their popularity. There is a huge cornerstone market for superpowered actors, spokespeople for brands and products who can do amazing stunts and feats of strength while selling you your favorite beverage. Others have moved more into a more professional industry. Some have even joined into the military as special operations teams. And then you have the cornerstone of any metahuman society. The superheroes, the capes, the supervillains. Two opposite sides fighting for control and safety of the streets of Metro City. And that is where we pick up tonight. The six of you have been on the tail of a small crime syndicate that have been hitting warehouses and storage facilities in your respective corners of the city. What you thought was just a simple crime spree slowly started turning into more organized crime. And you started piecing the puzzles, putting the pieces of the puzzle together, communicating with each other, sharing each other what you found on your patrols, the people you've busted, the stuff that, people have actually stolen. And months of work have culminated to this night, where at the moment you are in process of going after a stolen mag train full of military grade electronics, a brand new shipment from Masterson Industries. Fallen into the wrong hands, this has a street value in the multi-millions. Not to mention what anyone who got their hands on the merchandise could begin to do if they had ill-intended wishes. Things to make high-grade weaponry, explosives. Even the parts to be able to create a mag tank were on this train when it was hijacked. About 5 minutes after this train was stolen, all of your legally acquired police communicators went nuts as people were calling in the reports of a stolen train, of wounded dock workers, of a train out of control on the tracks. Not waiting for anybody else to say that they were on their way, you all began to convene together. All began to convene on the point, chasing down this train by your own means. That is where we open up today. Give me 1 second here because I realized something. I'm gonna put the BRB screen up. And I'm gonna give all of you the Sirenscape link because we need something to set the mood, right?
Oh my, let's do it.
For me.
I mean, it's not going to be anything grand because I haven't been able to find superhero music.
Oh yeah, I need to help you with that still.
Give you guys the interface here or the link to it, to Sirenscape. You guys can click on that whenever you wish. I am going to pop this up, make this normal, bring the screen back.
Let's go.
Let's go. Now I just need to find my music. Not Natural's Disasters. We're not at that part of the game.
Oh my.
Oh, don't worry. I have some things planned for you guys.
Jesus.
Okay.
No, that's not going to work. I was going to put the train sounds on. I'm like, no, it doesn't chug along like that. It's a mag train.
Mag train.
Meow.
Meow. Exactly. Hey, it's not on this play. Where's my playlist?
There's no chugga chugga.
Unless they,
that kind of saddens me that, world with no chugga chugs. Oh.
It's kind of like electric cars. There's no engine sound.
Just get a quiet hum instead.
That's all you get. You just get the quiet hum. We're on a train. What?
Yeah,
Here we go.
yeah you won't even get the clack of the wheels against the railing. It's a mag train.
There's a comedian that makes fun of that where it talks about how
So-
we still do the roll down the window motion instead of just tapping the button.
We open up tonight the mag train flying down the tracks, slightly suspended over them. A miracle of technology, but almost a cause of disaster with how out of control this thing is operating. Quite apparent to you that nobody is in control of this train right now. You don't even know if the conductor is even alive or even on the train anymore. But as we open up, a motorcycle, freshly hot wired, jumps off of the side of a freeway overpass, roughly landing onto the tracks behind the train, revving up the engine. Is one individual, while another is sort of hunched, kind of crouch style on the back seat of the motorcycle, holding onto the driver's shoulders. At this time, where's my cards? I am going to need, I know the suspense is killing you.
First roll of the game.
I'm going to need Doppler and oh god, like I am like tripping over everything right now because I've been so excited for this.
Girl, you and me both.
Yeah, we're all like,
I'm
horribly
literally
hyped.
vibrating right now.
It's like all we've all talked about all week long.
Literally all week. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
Zora
no,
and I
neither am
every evening we're talking about our characters and how we're gonna make them.
So Doppler and replica. You crash down onto the bikes or onto the mag tracks of the train on this motorcycle that Doppler had quickly hot wired, knowing that her Vespa was in no way, shape, or form going to be able to catch up to a train.
It has been modded, but it is not this quick.
It is not quick enough to catch a mag train. So you found some random souped up bike left out on the corner, hot wired it, decided it was for the greater good, and took off.
I like to imagine she yelled as she was doing that. I'm commandeering for this.
Police
for police business.
But as you hit the tracks and you begin to slowly chase this mag train, can the two of you just give a short description of what Doppler and replica look like?
Sure, Doppler go first.
Okay.
You were announced first.
So, should I do the identity or
No,
just Doppler?
just Doppler. What Doppler looks like.
All right. So Doppler is in like a Black Widow-esque type, the super suit, just black, but also, just regular boots, like Doc's, but more comfortable. And she has no cape, but she has a hood and a mask that covers, along with on the sides she has speakers. She has a like a utility belt, and with where she stores snacks, and then along with she stores like actual weapon type things in there too,
But they're snacks.
but snacks are important. You don't want to get low blood sugar and then pass out.
Yeah, that's what we're worried about.
I like to imagine like she has a super cool watch that she like checks in. Like a spy. Yeah, like you can't see her hair or anything. The only thing that you're able to see are these like green blue eyes. Like, you know, not like anything super extraordinary about them. Like, you wouldn't be able to pick her out from a crowd. But yeah, and she's just, even though you can't see the bottom half of her face, she is smiling like a maniac because she drives way too fast, but it is necessary. Okay.
And what about Replica?
Replica also is in more of a Black Widow-esque bodysuit. Less cleavage, less form-fitting, more militaristic style. But is one-piece bodysuit. Has like the military boots on. She also has one of the utility belts, but she also has a gun strapped to her thigh. And she has a baton that's strapped to her back that she can grab. She also has the giant hood, almost big enough to like completely like sink into and be like in the shadows. She too has the cloth covering that goes over the bottom half of her face, and she does the traditional superhero mask on over the eyes, and her eyes, they aren't covered, so she has these they're just brown eyes. Plain, everyday, ordinary. Also couldn't pick her out of a crowd.
I'm just
She
a
is very
face in the
thankful.
crowd.
Exactly. Very, very thankful that we managed to grab a bike and not a car.
Yeah, her bike driving has got to be like 10 times better than an actual car. She can make those sharper turns.
Mm-hmm. Also,
So-
would a car fit on these tracks very well? Nah.
Yeah, the tracks are wide enough for a car to fit on here, but given the way that everything is set up and everything, you probably run into issues. Thankfully enough, the rubber on the tires from the motorcycle is grounding you enough so you aren't being fried from the electronic rails that are underneath you.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you
that's
do
the
know
thing.
that if you take a spill, there's a very good chance that you are not coming backwards. But with the adrenaline pumping and the risk of almost certain death, you kick that bike into overgear and you start catching up to the back of the train. The door itself, though, is still shut. The rear access door still there. It looks like nothing was damaged. So you're gonna need to find a way in.
So,
How would the two of you like to do this?
Replica is probably waiting for Doppler to get her close enough that she can safely jump off the bike and land onto
Yeah.
the train
Okay.
Yeah,
without risking
absolutely.
tipping over the bike at the same time.
Yeah, I figured that we would get as close as we can and then do like a on go, not
Yeah.
on 3, on go. We both would jump from the bike and like probably end up like kicking it off and just,
Okay.
like not really caring what happens. to
Not
it,
carrying.
just-
It's not my bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
At that
guys
point, the bike's fucked.
you guys get up to the edge and just like in perfect unison, you say 1, 2, 3, and 2.5 Gemma leaps. Well, not Gemma. I'm sorry. Replica leaps over you, and then you get up onto your feet, Doppler, and you just jump and push the bike behind you. Watching it just. You not watching, but hearing it crash and crumble as sparks and everything that fly as the bike explodes, as the electricity from the mag rail hits the gas tank and it just lights up.
Don't look back. Don't look back.
But the force of the explosion just enough to push you full forward onto the back, like I don't want to say porch because it's not a porch, but the back compartment of the train before going into the back of the
like
room.
the balcony.
Caboose.
Yeah, it's like it's just a little standing area to where if it were connected, this is where they would stand to connect that little hose together in order to allow people to go through. But as you look inside, you can see that there are 2 individuals guarding the back of the train. From what they look like, very thrown together, like military fatigues. One guy looks like it's not even fitting correctly, almost as if they just shoplifted from a military surplus store. Both of them have One of them has a like a basic 9mm pistol, and the other one has like a small SMG, which given your history, Replica, you probably assume is also a 9mm.
Yeah.
But just by looking at them, it doesn't look like they know much about what they're doing.
Okay. Does there look like some sort of panel that we could access without them seeing us?
There is a small panel against the back wall of the train to where you're able to just pull the handle to release the door mechanism to slip on in.
Okay.
Can I use like? Can I work like? What's the sound like? Because there's no chugga.
Chaotic.
There's no.
Like
Okay.
because you
So-
even though you don't have the chugga, you still can hear the hum of like the electricity, and every now and again there's sparks. But with how fast this train is going, you have just the screaming wind whipping by the sides of the train.
Okay, so I'm trying to see about the chances of them hearing us move the panel or like open up the thing.
You have a feeling that if once that door opens, they're going to hear the noise from the outside. Unless that noise didn't exist.
So Replica's probably gonna position herself over by the panel and then look up at Doppler and be like, "You got us?"
Yep.
And she's
And
going
then,
to
sorry, go.
reach down, grab the handle, and she's waiting for the go signal from Doppler.
So Doppler is going to she's going to use her power to kind of create like a silent thing to make it less.
You're pretty much creating
this.
you're creating like a negative zone of space around yourself
Yeah.
that sound just doesn't exist.
Yep.
Like just like a small silence bubble.
Yep.
Okay. And Replica, you don't even need to see any sort of thumbs up, thumbs down. You just hear all of the sound around you just die.
And I'm going to yank that handle, and then I'm diving for whatever opening opens up.
Yep. And as you pull that handle, door just slides silently wide open. Because of Doppler's silence bubble, the two individuals still have their back to you.
So she's going to do the thing where she runs in, grabs one, and uses their weapon against the other one. Not fatally, just wants to like leg somewhere where they're not moving after they get shot.
Gotcha. So as the sound bubble comes up, Replica, you slowly sneak in, get up to like behind one guy, quickly like put your hand over his face, elbow him into the neck just with enough force to cause him to black out. And you grab the pistol and you look at the other guy and you just shoot into each knee, just into the back of each knee. And because the bubble is still up, there is no sound, there is no screaming. He just falls to the ground, just like gun goes across the railway, not the railway, but the pathway inside the train, as he's just like holding both knees. And you can see then he reaches up to grab a walkie-talkie, and he presses it and he starts trying to say something. Again, complete silence and nothing is coming.
Doppler goes and kicks him
Okay.
with your boot.
As you run over as he's talking, you just full on low bridge him, catch him like right in the chin, head whipping back with enough force, brain slamming against the back of his skull, knocking him completely out. Maybe a little concussed.
I wanted to knock him out. I didn't want to knock him dead.
But as the two of them fall, you are now in the back compartment where the two of you had planned to be, where this is where the main power housing for the train is at, where the battery and the controls for the mag train itself can be overridden. And as the two of you shut the door behind you and get ready to do what you need to do to shut the train down, midway up the train, there are about 3 more individuals sort of walking back and forth, sort of checking each north and south entrance every now and then, making sure nobody's coming through, looking through the glass, opening the door. Individuals seem to be a little more professional than the others. Though the one thing that they don't expect is something to be creeping in from the shadows. Unknowns to them on how this individual even came to be, a tall, almost mentally scarring looking creature looms out from the shadows from these individuals. Currently their backs to them, though given how others have acted to you before, Cryptid, you know things are going to get loud very fast unless you take care of these individuals. But before we get into what you're going to do, give us a little description of what Cryptid looks like.
So Cryptid, as mentioned, is quite tall. When standing at full height, it's probably a good 8 feet tall. Very lanky, long limbs, covered in mangy black fur, though it's hard to tell really when looking at it because it's almost constantly emanating a very fine black mist. It's got a long whipping tail and the head of what almost looks like a goat with long curved horns. Piercing through this kind of black haze that's always around it is barely glowing. So it's, not like beacons in the night or anything, but barely glowing, orangey yellow, horizontal eyes of a goat.
And as you stand there looming over one of them, you surmise you probably can take out 1 or 2 of them quickly before the others know what's going on. So you have a small moment as you've been watching them for a couple minutes, just getting their movement patterns down, waiting for the perfect time to strike.
And the area that I'm in, is it inside of a compartment or is it in an open part of the train?
This is an open thoroughfare. There's no seats or anything. This is just one of the the pathway cars to where it connects one train to another part of the train. You've got a couple boxes here and there as it's been used as secondary storage, but there isn't any seats or anything like that to worry about. As this isn't a commercial train, it's an industry train.
Okay. So I can probably get away with making a bit of noise without alerting some of the other trains or other cars on the train.
Yeah, you have a
Okay.
feeling. You have a feeling with how fast and out of control this train is going. Unless there's an explosion, you don't suspect anybody's going to hear what you're about to do.
Okay, so I'm going to apparate behind one of these men. Right at the moment when I know the other 2 are about to turn around and look at this guy. So right when they turn around, they see me appear behind him. And as they turn around and see that, I'm just going to place my large clawed hands on either side of this guy's head and look directly at these other two guys and let out a pretty loud, have you ever heard a stag call?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a very reassuring sound.
It is death.
And yeah, and I'm going to look directly at them and bellow out that stag call as I invade the minds of all three of these men and lead them to believe that they are in an unknown wood somewhere, being chased by an unseen creature making this stag call in the night.
And as you bellow out, holding this one individual who has, sure enough, peed their pants the moment those giant claws went around his head. Like you've seen before when you've used this ability, it goes from complete disbelief as to what the hell they're looking at. And once that roar goes off, their eyes sort of roll into the back of their heads and their bodies just fall limp to the ground. Guns, everything go clambering away from them as they just lay there all convulsing in a never-ending nightmare, being chased by this shadow beast in the woods.
And as they fall to the ground, I carefully step over them with my hooved feet and continue forward.
And as you continue forward, you open the adjoining door, not with the door handle or anything. Your long claws just pierce through the metal as you just rip the door wide open. And on the outside, as one of your companions is flying alongside the train, they can see panicked gunshots erupting from the inside as this large nightmarish beast constantly moves and apparates behind things, and in a short amount of time this entire car is pacified the same way, with all them laying comatose on the ground. Let me get back to the cards here. While all of this is going on, we cut to the front, not the front, but the main section of the train, which is the most compact with men than any other section. About 10 or 12 stand in here, all guarding the goods that they have come to acquire. Though they didn't what they didn't expect was to have the roof cave in around them, as leaping from a massive, overly American hover barge, this mountain of muscle comes crashing through the top of the train, just shredding metal, crushing a couple people underneath them, as he gently lets down another individual next to him, as the individuals who were not crushed as the roof caved in are kind of staring at disbelief of what the hell just happened. So what I need now is for Mr. Strong and Euphoria to describe what they look like.
Want to go first, hun?
Oh, I'm in there?
Yeah, you pretty much Steven had you in his arm and he leapt from that large America barge and crashed through the roof of the train and then like just gently let you down inside.
So is there a hole?
There's a massive fucking hole in the top of the train now.
Okay. So kind of kneeling down, you see this younger woman She's got this very dark purple hair that kind of ombres into a violet and then almost lilac color. As she's wearing a bodysuit, very, very tight form fitting, that basically covers her almost from like the neck to her toe. She does have a what looks almost like a very futuristic looking kind of gas mask on her face. Her eyes glowing this purplish blue unnatural color. She's got like these thigh-high boots on. She does have parts of the side kind of open, exposing her skin, much like Lucy's outfit from Cyberpunk Edge Runners, where like her shoulders are exposed, part of her thighs and hips sort of exposed on the side. As she just kind of pulls off a glove as she just puts it down, and she's like, now boys, let's all go to sleep, as she's going to just fill the entire room with knockout gas.
Okay. And as you sort of like let out this knockout gas, you see a couple of them aren't quick enough as they inhale it and just slowly kind of like get woozy and bonk together and fall to the ground. But there are a couple of them who seem to have their wits about them and quickly pull out gas masks. And as they do, they hit the guns on their, they hit the sides of the rifles and take aim.
Your turn, Strong.
Steven Strong, why don't you tell everybody what you expectedly look like?
What you see is about 2 meters tall of pure shredded muscle. That's 6'7", I believe, approximately for freedom units.
You're America now. You do
America.
And this man has that bulk of a man who went to the gyms with way too much steroids in his system. He'll look up at the barge and kind of give it a thumbs up, as I don't know if it would stay hovering near the train or just fly off, but you do hear the national anthem blaring on that thing's external speakers, smoke coming out of whatever engines this thing has. In an era of electronic vehicles, this thing definitely is not clean energy, we'll call it that. It's painted the good old white, red, and blue here, with the stars and stripes. Like, this thing is yells, like, over the top.
America is fuck.
Is the smoke coming from it red, white, and blue as well?
I'm thinking just, like, pure pollution. Like, we're talking just the good old black.
This definitely runs
no filter on my exhaust.
This definitely runs on a personal oil refinery.
Pretty much. It's probably half nuclear and half oil.
Yeah, this thing has 0 catalytic converters.
What is catalytic? What?
It's a waste of gold.
No catalytic converter, no platinum wasted, no gold wasted, no muffler. Soundproofing is for the weak. Anyway, and he himself, as far as his suit goes, all he's wearing is what would look like dress pants and dress shoes with a belt holding the pants in place, and that's about it. He's completely topless. He's not wearing a mask of any kind. All you see is this square, strong-chinned, jawline with short, cropped, either dark brown or black hair, depending on what lighting you're looking at them. A pair of thick, not too thick, but just square rimmed glasses that are just kind of sitting there on his nose, and eyes with an iris that glows red right now, as a bit of steam just seems to kind of be coming off their body a little bit here.
All right, and how would you like to deal with the individuals in front of you who are now taking aim with their rifles?
We're gonna do the most superhero thing that we can do. We're gonna just charge up at them, and in this particular case, considering there is knockout gas running, we're gonna try to pull off their gas masks.
Okay. So, seeing the guns raise up. Max, you get a smirk on your face as you bring both your arms up and you charge forward as the bullets start flying, and you can feel the impact hitting your forearms, but no pain is registering. As you get closer to these individuals, you get near them, opening your arms up and just like in a massive double clothesline, taking them down to the ground and quickly, one by one, ripping off the gas masks and just making them take a deep breath before they pass out.
And yeah, as those bullets are hitting, what people who are observant might notice is little dark splotches kind of
There's nobody there.
on his skin where the bullets are impacting, if that makes any sense.
Seeing him finish the last two off like that, in a somewhat careful, almost gymnastic sort of fashion, Euphoria does get all the way down and lands with heeled boots as she gets to the ground floor now and kind of looks around, observes the situation before continuing to go to the front of the train.
And as you make your way to the front, the last individual of your team, flying outside the train, a jet of flame behind him, sort of clumsily holding himself aloft as it's still a little new, but proficient enough to be able to move past the side of the train as he's watching the chaos through the windows unfold. Flashpoint, you bring yourself to the front of the train as you had coordinated with both the two in the back that you were going to disable the front part of the train, hit the brakes, and their job were to be to disable the battery to be able to completely bring this train to a stop. And as you're flying around, as you catch up to the front of the train, you notice that there are two ways that you can go about this. You've got the little side doors where like a conductor would enter and exit if the train was stopped, or you can just go right through the front of the glass of the train. Really up to you. But before you decide on like what you're going to do, why don't you go ahead and describe what Flashpoint looks like?
Flashpoint looks like he's dressed in like kind of like somewhat like carbon fiber semi-plated armor that's like attached to what looks like pretty much like, you know, not body tight, but just, you know, a regular form-fitting, you know, jumpsuit. You know, plates on the legs. Like basically it's like think about Black Noir from The Boys, but the plating is flame patterned, and he has basically it looks like a helmet or a hood, is hard to tell, but his face is like completely covered, and basically he has what you think is a scarf, but it's like literally just, you know, a gout of flame that's just erupted around his neck and just whips in the wind. And he has like visored eye slits, so you know he can see, but you literally couldn't see his face if you wanted to. And there's a very like a slight, especially now with him flying, there's like an obviously notable red hue around his whole body.
Okay.
And he's going to basically go to the side of the train where the conductor's door is, and he's just basically going to just, you know, melt his hand through whatever the locking mechanism is and just open the door and step into the front of the train.
And like as soon as you land onto the side, you superheat your hand and you can just hear music to your ears as that metal just easily just begins to melt around you. This thing does not have a high melting point, as it just almost dissolves around your touch. And then you hear a bit of a frizzle as you fry past the electrical connections, as the door sort of just lazily falls to the side, and you're able to just push it open. And luckily enough for you, there is one individual in here. His back is completely turned to you, as he's just pressing all kinds of buttons and pulling levers, everything, trying to get this train under control. It's obvious this dude has no idea what he's doing.
Does he look like a conductor, or
No,
does he just look like...
he's again in like the discount military fatigues. His gun is like slung around the conductor's chair, and he's just like panic pressing every button that he can see, trying to get this thing under control.
I want to superheat the air around his head and give him heat stroke.
Oh God. So he's sitting here, and like he starts like to wipe his forehead and everything. He's like, God, it's getting hot in here. And like he just like begins to like again just frantically push the buttons, as he starts to like slowly start to get woozy, as he falls forward and his head hits the console before sliding down to the ground, completely passed out.
Okay. I'm gonna look at the control panel, and I'm like, is it damaged? Is it just like he just doesn't know what the fuck he's doing?
He doesn't know what the hell he was doing. What he did, what it looks like he did, was he drew the short end of the stick, and he pressed like every button he can see, trying to make it gain control or take off. But instead, what he did was he just put it to max and pretty much threw it into autopilot and didn't know what he was doing. And so he's been slamming this key, and like you look at it and it's just like you press this button, disable autopilot, and then you can slow down the train.
Okay, that's what I was looking for.
Yep. And as you do that, in the back, Doppler and I want to call you Control C because I'm used to it. Replica. You finish disabling the main conductors to the battery in the back. And as you do, everybody on the train hears a as the lights begin to flicker and everything, and the train begins to wobble as it's lost any sort of magnetic connection to the rail underneath it, as it starts to buckle and weave.
Oh no.
And not being engineers yourself, you don't know how trains work. You just design designed a plan on the fly. It had a bit of the idea what the schematics look like and enacted your plan. But as the train starts buckling and shaking everything, all of you make your hastily exits any way that you can off of the train. And as you do, from like your vantage points as how you exit, the train sort of hits like one of the concrete walls that sort of slope on the sides of this rail, and just begin to ride the wall, sending broken concrete out into like the area below it. Can somebody roll me, make it a D10. Somebody just roll me a D10 here.
Okay.
Oh no. Roll D10.
Oh god, okay. 8.
8. Okay. So thankfully enough, the train does not jump the tracks. Though
Good.
it is heavily damaged and it is definitely derailed. But in your eyes, another job has been well done. The city's infrastructure is, for the time being, possibly saved. All the goods seem to be hopefully in an okay state after that crash, but you couldn't necessarily stick around. And as you watch in a very thankful state, the train itself doesn't jump the tracks, doesn't explode, doesn't do anything like that. And then you quickly make yourselves all scarce once you hear the approaching wail of multiple police sirens. But as that happens, thankfully the rest of the night on your patrols is quiet. You reconvene for a brief moment together afterwards, do a quick congratulations and thank you, blah, 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 and then you all go your separate ways. Going home, clambering back into your beds, getting what little sleep you can for the night, as patrols are always tiring. But you've left Metro City safe. It's night. And as the day or the night slowly turns into day, alarms start going off, people start getting ready for the hustle and bustle. We pick up with a decently sized apartment located smack dab in downtown Metro, the central hub of the city. Numerous businesses, clubs, stores, anything you can think of is here in downtown Metro. And a vast multitude of apartment complexes. Frankie and Gemma, you were having an okay sleep until you hear a radio going off. As Metro Johnny Jordan, a local DJ, pipes up from the speakers. Good morning, Metro City. His voice just shrill and unwelcome in your ears as you wake up in the morning.
Oh my god.
Both of you just jump up out of bed, looking around as you can hear Johnny's voice, like now mumbling in from a radio outside in the kitchen. You can smell something cooking as well, as the stove, the stovetop is obviously on, as you can hear something in oil being prepared. The two of you kind of a little bit exhausted. You kind of got home probably around 3 o'clock in the morning. Looking at your watches, it's now 9.
Okay. So we did manage to get some sleep.
Yeah, but Johnny Jordan is Metro Johnny Jordan is not the way you want to wake up in the morning.
Nope.
I just
I'm gonna kill him. He's here. I'm gonna kill him.
Gemma just leaves the room. She grabs whatever she has in her room that's heavy because she's gonna go break that damn clock. That radio is going to be smashed.
The two of you, as you're waking up now, outside of your superhero personas, you got to go to the casual cards.
Super cash.
Yeah, just keep it cash, bro.
Gemma and Frankie, can you describe how you look this morning, aside from annoyed and wanting to kill the individual in the kitchen?
I'm just
I'm
killing his waitress.
Because I went
Okay.
first with Doppler.
Fine. So Gemma stands up, she stands up tall, like 5'6". She has her hair changes color almost monthly. It's currently got a black into red ombre, like bright red, dark black. Her skin is lightly tan. She has the brown eyes. Kind of just very can blend in anywhere except for her hair, which can range from anywhere from, this is actually fairly mellow for her, She will go bold sometimes. She's probably sleeping right now in her workout clothes, so she has some form tight-fitting shorts and a sports bra on. And like I said, she's grabbing whatever she can that's heavy, and she's heading out to break the radio. Johnny has to be stopped.
You have to be stopped.
You have to stop.
And what about Frankie?
So Frankie is again also very tired and very upset. So she's she has pale skin, and she has a mohawk. At this time it's not up or anything, but
Just disheveled and all over the place.
it's all over the place. It is a bright blue, bright blue, and it also changes pretty much monthly.
They're on a schedule.
Yep. Definitely. And her eye makeup was not fully taken off from like the night before or whatever, so she has like, it makes her dark circles look worse.
It's like a disheveled raccoon.
Yes, that is
Mhm.
absolutely her. She probably fell asleep the night before in like her, because she's a very much a tomboy and like actually like dressing up, so she's like wearing a big t-shirt and like some boxers because they're comfortable. And has kind of like she's kind of mastered the art of like like kind of not deafening but like suppressing some sound on just her, so it's not quite as ear piercing, but it's still she's still annoyed, very much so. And she's got a couple piercings as well, like on her ears and nose and face, tattoos, all that stuff as well.
I
I've
did
not
forget to mention.
decided what tattoos are. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I thought you were done. No, I forgot to mention Gemma's hair falls down to like lower back. It's long. It gets curled up, it comes up, but when it's straight and nothing's been done to it, it's long.
Could she sit on it if she sits
Not
down?
quite that long. Just shy of it, though.
Yeah. Long enough to be very annoying at times.
It's a lot of room to work with the color on.
Trying to find your banded name.
Heartbreak City.
Heartbreak City, that's what it is.
Yep.
So as the two of you brush the cobwebs out of your mind or out of your eyes and everything, and tiredness turns to rage in Gemma's mind. She comes storming out of her room, door flung wide open. Metro Johnny Jordan is cut off as one of Heartbreak City's singles begins playing on the radio. As you come out stomping out, you probably got, a shoe or something ready to smash that radio. You see Frankie's older brother, Anthony, standing there, already prepared, like an already prepared stack of pancakes and some bacon, and now he's like grilling up some steak and eggs as well. He's dressed in like a pair of jeans, kind of just like tore up in random places. He's got a pair of black boots on. He's got a beanie on. Normally he'd had like just this bright green mohawk, but he's got just like a beanie on. Then he's got like a crop top on that just has the words in big bold Comic Sans that just says fuck on it.
I want that shirt.
Me too.
And he's just sitting there and he's cooking, and you notice that he put the radio on a top shelf where Gemma cannot reach.
Oh, also I want to mention Frankie is also very short at exactly 5 feet.
And Anthony's like quite Anthony's about the opposite. He's about 6'3".
Yeah.
And he kind of like looks over and he just smirks at you.
She's throwing the shoe anyway after that smirk. It's getting chucked.
You know what? Are you throwing the shoe at him or are you throwing it at the radio?
Radio.
Okay.
Can throw it at him.
This will actually be the first roll of the night.
Oh god.
This is gonna be a weapon roll. Because
Oh god.
shoe's a weapon.
Technically, yeah.
It is in this case.
Roll a 4.
2 out of a 4.
2 out of a 4. You throw the shoe and you think it's gonna hit and it does like one rotation too much and it kind of just goes over the radio and you hear it hit the back wall and then land on the top shelf with the radio.
It's a shoe she'll never get back.
Anthony just starts laughing.
You lucky you have food.
You could have just asked me to turn it down. I didn't know you guys were home. I didn't see you come in last night.
We got in kind of late.
You guys out partying again?
I was gonna say, like, I just kind of growl as I'm like walking. It's like, "Arr."
And he just kind of like looks at you, and you could see he's a little disappointed. So he kind of just like he's like, Frank, come on. We have a show today.
We were
Remember?
patrolling last night.
I think we
Again,
did a little more than that.
again with the patrolling. I asked you guys to take it easy. We got a show today. Did you forget we're one of the performing acts for the Founders Day parade? We're like on a float and everything.
I didn't forget. I just, stuff happened.
Oh, okay.
As
Stuff
she's
happened.
just like
Shoveling
ignoring
food.
everything, shoveling food.
To be fair, it's better than the train being stolen.
True.
You guys did the train job last night.
Oh, did you
Yep.
hear about that?
The entire city heard about that. The chief of police is in an uproar. You guys damaged probably a good like 400 feet of mag track, not to mention a bike blew up on it for some reason. You know, that's going to cost the city probably a good like $1-2 million just to repair.
How much
Chief-
repairs would they have
City
if they
doesn't
got
have
away
it.
with it?
The chief is pissed. He's calling for your heads. Well, he's calling for the heads of the Vigilant 6, but
Who
That-
isn't?
that's including you two. I would
It's still better than the alternative.
no argument here. Y'all just have to work on disabling trains and not making them jump tracks.
Look,
No, I didn't have time to look up all the information on it. If I could have gotten my hands on a video, it would have been not a problem.
As he kind of looks at you, he's like, I've seen you go from 0 to setting up our entire fireworks display in like 4 seconds.
Yeah.
What, you couldn't watch a YouTube video on the way?
Have you seen the way she drives?
Say no more.
You want me to watch your video on the back of a motorcycle while she's driving?
As he shakes his head, he's like, say no more. Anyway, I think you two should keep a low profile on the whole soup thing for a while until this all blows over. I mean, public
Right.
opinion of you guys is great. I mean, everyone's happy that you were able to stop a bunch of military grade weaponry and electronics from getting into the wrong hands. Bigwigs in the city are kind of a little peeved because, well, you damaged the city.
yeah, it's not like they didn't have the money to fix it already.
He kind of just gives up and he just sits down with his own plate of food. There's like two
Yeah, it's like you're
two
not
little-
gonna get through.
two little
No.
ferrets go like running off in the background, jumping from like their little shelves and stuff that you guys put up for them to play around.
Nightshade and fuck ass.
Jimmy might be sneaking some bacon aside for them later.
Oh yes, give ferrets bacon. What can go wrong there?
Nothing.
And as the two of you begin to eat your breakfast and get ready for the day's festivities, as you are most definitely performing in the Founders Day parade. I'm going to say this. Normally in these situations, in your downtime, you would have a means to go throughout your day to day, like go to work, do whatever you need to do, or you can spend time investigating clues about a crime that you had uncovered, or about a certain individual that was arrested, or you can use the time to burn off stress by indulging in your vice. Downtime doesn't necessarily only have to happen during the day. There are nights that you may not take patrolling. You may just feel, hey, this is an off time. Other heroes got it. You know, I can take care of the crime later. You know, kind of just do a little bit of self-care. But for today, the main focus is the Founders Day Parade, as all of you in some way, shape, or form have a hand in it. Heartbreak City is performing on one of the floats during the parade. And as you eat and you begin to get ready, and Anthony and all of you begin to load up the truck and the other bandmates come by, we go to a lower part of Metro City, a place where most of the locals colorfully refer to as the trenches. The old neighborhood of Metro City before downtown was ever built. Now a bit of rundown and a little bit forgotten by the city's infrastructure. We come to a small outlier, a wonder of the world nowadays, as we come to one of the very last VHS stores possibly on the planet, a shop colorfully known as The Nest. As in his upstairs apartment overlooking his shop, Condor Wickerbasket wakes up for the morning to get ready for another peaceful day in The Nest.
So, Condor is it's a dog goes crazy in the background. Condor is almost like the human mirror image of Cryptid. He's tall, he's lanky, he's a little spindly looking, but pretty unkempt as well. He's got like shoulder length brown hair. He's got auburn eyes. He's pretty pale, and he's got freckles like all over his everywhere. And he just kind of rolls out of bed and grabs the nearest work shirt that's within reach and throws it on, and it's like this red shirt with this little name tag in the shape of a bird's nest, has his name across it. And he kind of wanders over to his kitchen and opens up an old pizza box. Nope, there's nothing in that one. Opens up a different one. Oh, there's a slice in that one. He grabs it and pops it in the toaster and turns the toaster on its side so the cheese doesn't fall off. And heats up the pizza, and that's his
Homemade
breakfast.
toaster oven.
And he's just humming this happy little tune the whole time.
And as you're humming a happy tune, just in this very quiet, quaint apartment, a soft knock on your apartment door comes by, and then you hear a very familiar voice. Condor, you awake? Shop needs to open soon. As you hear the voice of a good friend of yours, a marionette who you know as Mary, somebody you worked with in your past job at a pizza parlor, and you two became rather close friends. And once the Nest opened, she was able to secure a job here.
And hearing her voice, he just kind of saunters over to the door and opens it up. Hey, yeah, I'm just having breakfast. You can come on in if you want.
As she kind of like lets herself in, and she's got like a stack of boxes with her as she sort of like slumbers on in, and you can see she's got the same brown work shirt with the name tag, but hers says Mary. Just a pair of normal jeans, a comfortable pair of tennis shoes. Her like shoulder length blonde hair sort of like pulled back into just a like what looks to be like right now a very messy braid. Like maybe she even got up a little later than normal. But as she gets in, she sets down the boxes, and one of them is a fresh pizza box. As she sort of takes it and she opens it, she like opens the fridge and slides the pizza in there and shuts the fridge so you have food for later. And then she's got a couple coffees and a box of like freshly baked donuts for you as well. As she opens one up and takes like a bear claw and starts eating it and pops the top of one of the coffees and starts drinking it herself. And she's like, "You made the news last night."
Oh, shoot. Did I? What did I do?
And she kind of like tosses you a newspaper, and like front page and center, it says Vigilant 6 derails train.
Oh, that news. Cool. They're not mad about that one, are they? Because we like saved the day.
Well, the way that the Metro Horn says it, you disrailed the train and caused millions of damage to city property. There's a little bit of a mention of apprehension of multiple individuals who were stealing military technology, but you know the Horn, they tend to glaze over that anytime you or your friends are involved.
Yeah, I don't think they like us very much.
No, they think you're just a bunch of outlandish vigilantes who are bad for the city.
I mean, I kind of get it a little bit. Like sometimes stuff gets broken, but we try not to. We stop the bad guys.
Like, hey, you're not gonna hear any argument from me. I think what you guys are doing is great. It's just, well, the mayor is a little upset because of the derailing of the train. The chief of police is upset because once again you made his officers look bad by apprehending the individuals. There's even a quote from a Kentucky senator, Senator Warren, slandering all of you, calling you nothing but a bunch of hyperthyroid, power abusing vigilantes who are going to do nothing but bring the collapse of civilization for the rest of the good human workers of the city.
Oh, that sounds real bad. Maybe we should like lay low for a couple days.
Maybe. I mean, we do have the festivities going on for Founders Day today. It's probably gonna be.
Is that today?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably gonna be a really quiet around here. I was thinking maybe we can close up and go check the festivities out. I mean, no, let's be fair. You know, Heartbreak City's playing. Senator Maximilian Armstrong is going to be giving a speech to open up a new wing of Worthington Pharmaceuticals. There's just nobody's going to be down here.
Yeah, I mean, speeches, music. I'm always down for a rockin' parade, man. Let's close up shop.
And food. Don't forget about the cook-off that's happening. Like the annual barbecue cook-off is going to be amazing.
Oh man, I'd love to be like a judge or something on that. Do you think they'd let me?
Maybe. I mean, you are a local business owner.
That's true, I am.
Well, let's eat up and, you know, get on out to, well, not out, but down to downtown Metro. It's like she's like, I was able to borrow the car today, so we don't have to take public transportation. We can just drive on into the city.
Because like with the parade and stuff, the buses, they probably can't even get close.
Yeah,
Good thinking.
My sister is kind of tied up for work today. She's got like meetings after meetings after meetings, so she's not going to be using the car today. So I just thought, hey, why not, me and Condor take a little bit of a joyride down to downtown.
See, this is why you're the brains behind this whole operation.
Yeah, but you're the big shadowy brawn, so
Yeah,
we kind of
yeah,
equal each other out.
we do.
Like,
Gonna dig into those donuts.
yeah. And she's like, you know what? She walks over and she grabs the pizza out of the fridge. She's like, we're gonna need road pizza. I mean,
True.
Traffic's gonna be a bitch.
Yeah. As the toaster goes off and
Oh.
just shoots the pizza onto the floor.
Oh no!
And she kind of
We
looks.
lost Doppler.
You're muted.
She's muted, but she's back.
Muted.
So I just because I was looking at the chat in our Vigilant 6, and then when I went to click back to view the cameras, I went into the wastes one instead.
Wrong game, Cass. So like as the pizza like launches out of the toaster and comes like just flops onto the floor, she sort of looks like, he's like, you have all this money and you don't buy an air fryer or an actual toaster oven.
The toaster works. I just gotta stop, like pointing it off the counter.
Connie, come on. You're rich. Why not, splurge a little bit, get an air fryer.
I could get a new toaster.
Get a new toaster too. That thing is disgusting. You've had that thing for like 15 years.
Yeah, but it works, man.
They just don't make them like they used to.
I need to bring you into current age. I need to like. She kind
A
of just
toaster that can fit 4 pieces of bread.
She kind of like looks at you. It's like, that's a toaster oven. You
Is
could
that
fit
what
a.
that's called?
She's like, you can fit a whole loaf of bread in some of them. You could put.
Let's get one of those.
Yes, get one of those. maybe a TV in here.
God.
Maybe a lamp.
Oh, we got TVs downstairs.
Yeah, but if you want to watch TV at night, you want to go down to the shop and watch it.
It's where all the tapes are, man.
What am I going to do with you? She's sort of like, the two of you leave the apartment and arms full of food and everything, just eating and talking. As you get into the car and begin to make your ways to downtown Metro City. As this is happening, it is a bright, beautiful Saturday morning over in Metro City University. And yes, before anybody knows, I know it's MCU. It was not intentional.
It totally was.
Unintentional. Your subconscious bubbled
Embrace
to the
it.
surface and made it happen.
It was totally
Embrace it.
planned.
I love it. It's an homage, a kiss
As
to our love.
much like Gemma and Frankie, Louis, you are woken up by the shrill voice of Metro Johnny Jordan, screaming into your ear, bringing in the morning. As you begin to like process everything is going on, you kind of hear. And in other superhero news, the Vigilant 6 has once again stopped a massive military theft organization ring last night, which ended in the apprehension of 15 heavily armed individuals and the derailing of one city train. If you ask this disc jockey, one train is worth the safety of the city. Hats off to you, V6. Now, in other news, it is Founders Day. The Founders Day parade is going to be one of the biggest draws of the city, and our very own local band, Heartbreak City, is going to be performing a new single on a float in the afternoon parade. You ask this guy, #1 fan of Heartbreak City, can't wait for it. And then he starts going on about other music news and the other processes, or not the other like goings on in the country, as you sort of like clamber out of bed in your small on campus apartment.
Do I have a single? Hopefully.
You have a single, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so like Louis' routine is basically, gets up, he works out for about 40 minutes, you know, uh hops in the shower, uh, makes a simple breakfast, pretty much, just slap some bacon and eggs like in the same pan, chucks on the English muffin or some like, some wheat bread or something, whatever he has laying around. Because he's living the college dorm life, so he's limited access to cookery.
The college bachelor life, yeah.
Yeah, he's got the more modern stuff. Yeah, he has an air fryer.
I mean, you gotta have an air fryer.
Well, he's got an air fryer. He's got an electric pot. I don't know if you've seen those pots you plug in and they heat up.
Yep.
So you don't have, because you can't have any. It's kind of funny. The pyrokinetic can't have any open flames in his room.
I mean, electric kettles work.
You mean you don't use your laptop to cook your meals?
Flip it upside down, use the fan.
That's so good. The real
Yeah,
air fryer.
Yeah, he has real fryer. He tries not to use his powers in his dormitory. Since none of the other you know V6 know him personally, he still has the habit of sleeping in a flame retardant tarp. Um he like it's just it's a leftover from his just childhood insecurities. It's just something he's just never been able to kick. As he's gotten more confident with his powers, but with the confidence in his powers, he realizes just how dangerous his powers can be. And he frankly doesn't know, if when he's unconscious, if his powers you know run amok. He doesn't know, like, while he's sleeping, he just, like, can spontaneously combust. So he pretty much just wraps himself in, like, flame retardant material while he's sleeping. Um, and he just basically wraps it up, so anyone who comes over to visit, just thinks he just sleeps on a regular bed. Um, and after he has his breakfast, he basically checks his email to see if he has any work contracts for the day. Um, he's like, if the figuring with it being Founders Day, he's not going to have any pressing work. So he has some stuff that he just basically has on autopilot that he doesn't have to worry about. He just runs a couple background processes and they do their thing. Aside from his bed, like, his room just is just like, there's an elaborate computer setup in his room. Like, I don't know if you ever seen, like, if you ever seen an actuary or like a stock person's computer desk, where it just has, like, the multiple giant monitors. Like, that's
a Batman
his
setup.
room.
Yep.
Yeah, he's got the Batman setup on, like, on an L-shaped desk in his room. It's just very sparse. He doesn't keep a lot of stuff in it. So which, people who come over, they just, like, they're like, why don't you keep anything in here? And he's like, dude, I'm only here for 4 years. Why am I gonna, like, decorate? It's like,
True.
it's technically not
why
my place.
Why am I gonna have to put something up that I just have to take right back down?
Yeah, so that's why he plays it off. So he just has a bunch of stuff running on his computer. He's actually looking up any news or anything going on about the actual heist. He ran some automated searches the night before he went to bed to see if anything pops up on the guys that were, on the train. See if he,
Sure.
can get any information.
Go ahead
to
and give
see
me a
if he
tech
can-
roll.
Alrighty.
Let's say difficulty of 4.
Cool. All right, just trying to find a D4 that's actually visible. Most of my D4.
Oh, is your tech a D4? I thought your tech was your D6.
Yours is a D6.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Your tech is your D6
Because I was
skill.
gonna make my power the D6, and you said we couldn't do
Yeah,
powers. For
you can't do
D6.
powers for D6.
Sorry. 4 on the dot.
4 on the dot. Nice. So you ran a couple of background processes where, as soon as you got home, searching the usual suspects, and you were able to thankfully find a leaked file from the police database, sort of going through the process records of everyone who was who was arrested in this heist. And there seems to be 2 different organizations working together. There was a lot of the individuals who obviously didn't know what they were doing, who were a part of a very small time street gang known as the Street Sharks. Yes, that is the gang name.
Yes.
Very, very lowball street gang, very more into muggings and maybe ATM grabbing, and less about weapons grade theft. But the others are from a well-known crime family in Metro City, the McDouglas family. Though
Mob.
anybody who would ask about them, you're not going to get any information about the McDouglas family. Aside from they're an old family, they come from old money, and they are one of the founding families of Metro City. In the eyes of some of the elders of the family, by right, Metro City is theirs. So sons, daughters, grandsons, and everything have gotten it a bit into their head that since their family owns the city, they should actually own the city. And they started getting into crime, everything, trying to muscle their way into becoming one of the crime powerhouses of Metro City. Backed by a very strong team of lawyers, they have been able to pretty much sidestep any criminal charges that have ever been thrown their way. Of course, the individuals that, were caught and were processed, serve the brunt of the time, but none of the higher up of the family have ever seen the inside of a jail cell. And it's gotten to the point to where people believe they're untouchable.
Would I know the name of the law firm that works for them?
Yes, it's known as Falcon and Falcon. Anyone who is anyone in sort of like the justice department of the city knows they're shady. It's a shady law firm. They tend to always represent higher society individuals, higher, like mob bosses, crime lords, leaders of industry. Anywhere the money is at, you'll find Falcon and Falcon.
Gotcha.
But
Cool.
from what it looks like, every one of these individuals has been processed and is awaiting arraignment. No bail or anything has been paid. Though you weren't able to find any information as to any statements taken from any of the individuals, any of the police interviews, anything like that. You found just barely scratched the surface information of who was affiliated in that situation.
Gotcha. Side question. So it seems like it's pretty well known that Heartbreak City is going to be performing at the Founders Day parade.
Yep. It is like
Um,
every website you see is like promoting the Founders Day parade and the barbecue contest, and everywhere you look, Heartbreak City's there.
so out of curiosity, um, like out of character, I know Gemma is their manager. Has there been any like video or still footage of Gemma working with the band or anything noting that she is their manager or has close association with the band?
I don't know, Gemma, has it been made public that you are the band's manager?
Probably not. She works mostly behind the scenes,
Okay.
so it's not super public.
Like,
I imagine there's something somewhere if you dug hard enough, but
Mhm.
you're going to have to dig for it.
Yeah, like every now and then you find pictures of Gemma with the band backstage and everything, and they've got like a staff shirt or they've got like the staff badge on, but nothing that says manager on them.
I think in regards of the Heartbreak City manager, like you would have to find like local like local tabloid type of things
Even
for like
then,
before no, I mean for before
yeah,
Gemma. Like there's nothing
nothing
really.
for Gemma. Yeah, it's very, once they got rid of their past manager, it's just been very, it's just been thrown in the rumor mill of who is now watching or who is now overseeing managerial roles in Heartbreak City.
Yeah.
So you do know that you have seen Gemma's picture interacting with the band and interacting with like the roadies and stuff like that. So you don't know that Gemma's the manager, but that Gemma from time to time lends their efforts to the band itself.
Mm-hmm.
Does the band have like public facing social media, like a
Oh
website,
yeah,
stuff like that?
they've got a Facebook, they've got a Twitter, they've got an Instagram, they've got a TikTok. It's like pretty much if anything social media exists, the band is there.
Okay. I'm
But like
feeling
to make
I'm
it clear,
feeling
the company that manages Heartbreak City, Gemma is basically a contract hire in. She works for herself
Yeah.
legally.
I know I don't know that. Um so cuz I haven't dug for it. So I'm just like she's with the man. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send an anonymous email to the public facing email address
Mm-hmm.
of the band, and it's just gonna say nice eyes with a winky face.
Okay. And so you send that email. Go ahead.
I can just add to the pile of creepy things they get all the time.
Yeah. I was gonna say like that, like an anonymous email of nice eyes. I imagine it would probably be read as like, "Hey,
Yeah,
nice
fully.
eyes."
I'm gonna collect
It's
them.
towards the band, not not Gemma.
I'm a collect
Yeah, I
those
know.
eyes.
Right?
I know.
That's the creepy style.
Again,
Basically,
I don't
you said
know.
it.
I'm
And
just,
Louis
Exactly,
goes
yeah.
on a list.
there's not really there's not really many lists that I can't help avoiding.
But as you do your little side work and get ready for the day to head out to the festivities, we are going to take a quick break here so we can get up, stretch our legs, freshen up drinks, and I can turn my air conditioner on because I am baking. So we will be right back.
Kevin baking. I take that as a
Boys.
compliment.
No, it is a
And
compliment coming from me. You know me.
we are
It's
back.
Oh,
like-
hi.
I'm 5'5" and sassy. Makes me taller.
I like it.
Yeah.
Wait,
I mean, you could be like me, where
Wait,
sometime
does-
between the age
does-
of 20 and 27, I grew 2.5 inches.
wait. Does
There you go.
sass make you taller?
Yes.
It does.
Because if that's the case,
Well,
I'm
'cause
7
we-
feet tall.
We saw
That's it?
Cass like next to you, and I was like, oh man, I was like, she's got to be 5'10" because we know how tall you are, but it's the camera angle, and I was like, oh shit, well never mind. And
Nope.
Yeah.
so I was like, oh, I was gonna say, I
Cass-
thought she was taller than me, and I'm 5'5", and
Cass
he's like,
is 5'2" on a
oh,
good
you're
day.
taller. On a good day.
I used to be 5'2" and told everyone I was 5'2", and then we've, like, many years later
You're like
realized I was
5'4".
supposed to resort. I'm 5'4", so
Yeah.
It's okay. Okay.
I
it's just
grew in my
weird.
20s.
You're okay.
It was weird.
Setting off fireworks.
Yeah, Evie's freaking out.
Aw.
You're okay, baby. It's
Oh
okay.
baby.
Yeah, after I told them after
Little
we're done with this-
non-flashbacks.
I told them after we're done with this stream and everything, and we're off stream, we could do a side by side comparison of our
See the
height.
height difference.
It's gonna have to take a picture because like the camera's not gonna do it.
No, that's why I was saying it was misleading. We thought she was much taller
There-
from the angle. Or like, oh, never mind.
You could show them the picture. We'll get to this later. We're getting
Yeah.
sidetracked here. We are live, by the way.
You're all
Um,
down the rabbit hole.
but yeah.
All people
So
things.
as Louis makes his way out and off the campus of Metro City University, we cut to a apartment not too far from Metro Main, uptown Metro City, where all the government and official work of the city happens. Though we cut to a very fine apartment decorated with works of art and closets full of beautiful fashion accessories and very well put together. As I just lost where all of my stuff is at. Give me a second. Professional DM here, by the way.
We're so pro.
10 out of 10 always.
10
Look, new
out of
characters.
10.
This.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Who dis?
And I think this is probably one of the most like complex pre-game stuff
Yep.
we've ever dumped on Rojan. I think like all of us dumped at least 5 to 6 pages of character stuff on
Yeah,
the guy. So
yeah,
if
lore
anything, I
dump.
salute the man
Yeah.
for
So-
remembering even half of this stuff.
Paige, unlike the rest of the individuals in Metro City, you know better than to have any radio dial set to Metro FM in the morning, lest you be woken up by the shrill voice of Metro Johnny Jordan. So you are awoken by a very soft, slightly increasing as time goes on volume alarm off your cell phone.
Do the lazy kind of like grab the phone and hit silent, but like just stare at it.
And as you look at it, it's about 30 to 9. And you know, you should be in the office probably about 9 o'clock, especially given the prep that you need to do for today's festivities.
Oh shit, and I still have to pick up the goddamn suit. Oh crap. She's gonna go ahead and go into overtime to like quickly get dressed. As no breakfast for her this morning.
And as you start rushing and everything, the smell of like fresh coffee sort of hits your nostrils.
Does the slow peek from around the corner of like kind of backpedaling look into her kitchen like what?
And as you look in, you see that there is a young woman, probably her mid-20s, sitting at your little breakfast nook of very long, like long shock white hair, probably down to like her tailbone, and a very long braid. Her the soft dark circles underneath her eyes. Her skin, depending on how the light sort of hits it, looks a little taut around the eyes itself, but it's very hard to make out her exact age if you didn't know her, as Amelia has gone through a bit of some tragic changes growing up, given her power. Though the two of you met in college, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of is just wearing her basic get up of just an official looking like black power suit. Not like superpower suit, but like, you know, business power suit. Very official, very presenting. A black blazer with a golden pin of the Masterson's Technologies emblem on it. She kind of smiles and just kind of waves as you sort of like slumber into the breakfast nook. Yeah, I took some liberty knowing that she kind of like does this would happen this morning, given your as she throws you the paper, given your long night.
Well, good morning to you too, Mel's. What is this? We hit the pages again.
Front page this time, and well,
Oh, really?
slandering you guys. You guys took a beating last night. They're mostly mad because the
Yeah.
train derailed and caused a couple $1 million damage to the mag track. Tell me, who was on the bike that blew up?
Oh, let's see here. I think at the time it was Doppler was writing that, I believe.
Of course. Let me guess. The one attached to their hip was there as well?
Oh, yeah. Replica and Doppler. DNR, always together.
Honestly, given the past couple times you two have, like, your group has worked together, they seem to cause the most damage out of everyone. They are very willy-nilly. There was the fight at the Opera House, and Doppler got a little too angry and sort of blew out every pane of glass in like a mile radius. You know, they're still
Not her fault the acoustics were great in that theater.
they're still finding shards of glass out in alleyways.
Goes to pour herself a cup of coffee in one of her to-go thermoses as she takes a sip and goes, well, despite the destruction, they do get results, so I can't really complain. But in their defense, they're not the ones that caused the train to crash.
This is again, you won't hear any argument from me. I being somebody who helped design some of the stuff that you wear, and I put you all in contact with one another, I can see the greater good. Just try to reel the psycho duo in a little bit. You know, don't let them blow anything else up.
Yeah, I guess to be honest, it's kind of hard having a chit chat with them when most of the time we're just kind of thrown in the fray or gather information and kind of rattle off to each other.
Again, why don't you all meet and have a powwow and sit down and maybe, I don't know, form a team?
You know, I don't like being around people for long periods of time.
Yeah, I know that, but you guys do get results and you work well together. I mean, and the city thinks you're a team already. They keep calling you the Vigilant Six. Might as well, you know, might as well make use of that branding.
Who the hell came up with that name?
Johnny Jordan.
Him? Okay.
Yeah, look,
Great.
he's a tool, but he's like your guys' #1 fan.
He's everyone's you can tell him like, hey, try this grilled cheese. And he's like, oh my god, I'm this grilled cheese's #1 fan.
Okay, yes, he's kind of a douchebag foodie. I understand that.
Oh, he's not gonna be at the parade, is he? He's gonna
Oh,
broadcast it.
you
Oh,
know he's gonna
no.
be at the parade. Metro FM has a huge booth. He's gonna be doing the play-by-play of the parade. He's gonna be front and center for Max's speech. And do you think he's going to miss a performance by Heartbreak City?
Oh, right. He's their #1 fan too. Then I believe he has a lot of memorabilia he shows up in with their stuff, like hats, shirts, everything.
Oh,
That I do believe.
Frankly, it's gotten to the point where it's kind of unsettling.
it's like he shows up to concerts and they had the toe merchandise.
He has more merch than Gemma does. And Gemma has all the merch.
For free, of course.
Yeah.
Well, it's because he makes his own.
He's like showing up in like Anthony cosplay.
Oh god, no. No.
Why would he
Oh.
cosplay Anthony? Anthony's the lead guitarist. He's like usually people cosplay like the lead singer, which I still need to figure out who it
That's
is.
why, because I don't know who the lead singer is.
Yeah. Well, here's
Right
the
now,
thing.
you guys are like the White Stripes. You've got a guitar player and a drummer. That's all I know of.
I mean, it works for them.
two-man band. Two-man band.
I've seen them in concert multiple times. They're fucking amazing.
Paige will kind of like pinch her nose a little bit, kind of like she's slowly getting a headache as she's like, yeah, and the worst part is he's gonna be right there every time when the senator is up there doing his speech, which by the way, do you want to ride or something? I actually have to go pick up the suit for his speech today.
That's what I'm here for. I wanted to know if you wanted to ride. I got one of the new company cars downstairs. Thought maybe you want to travel in style today.
It's not super over the top flashy, is it?
Just one of the new hover cars.
Oh, I hate that thing. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm already late. I can't be picky. All right. Do you mind if we stop by my store real quick? I know they're closed, but I got a key to get in to grab his suit before I can go.
Not a problem whatsoever.
Thanks, Mel's. You're
Yep.
a lifesaver.
Sometimes. Yeah.
She
Get
makes sure she
ready.
grabs
Get ready.
everything. Yep, she what time of the year is this? This
This-
is very important.
This is about July type. This is like July time frame, as the Founders Day parade is very 4th of July-esque. So you're looking looking mid-July.
Okay. Then she's gonna be wearing a tight black skirt, no stockings this time, with open toe heeled shoes. She's gonna be wearing a very thin, very breathable blouse. So she doesn't feel like she's just dying from the heat. Kind of puts her hair up in somewhat of a messy bun, but it looks nice, if that makes sense. It doesn't look like she just like got bedhead from it. And she's gonna go ahead and grab what looks like a folder, not quite a briefcase. It's fancy like one, but it's a folder, and grabs her keys and her to-go coffee mug.
Okay.
It's like, all right, let's go.
And as you two walk downstairs, you see a very impressive looking, fresh off the line, Masterson Technologies hover car. As there's no wheels, but there are like a couple mag plates on the bottom keeping this thing afloat. And Amelia walks by and presses her hand on the side compartment of the back door, flips open, and she's like, come on in.
These things are obnoxious, you know. No offense.
Oh, none taken. I personally don't like this model, but we get a fast pass.
All right.
And
She'll get in.
the two of you get in and she shuts the door, and it's very temperature controlled and you're very comfortable. As the car kind of like zooms or like kind of pulls off of the curb, it elevates a little bit higher than you're used to going for like one of these hover cars, as it starts flying about a good 15 feet above the street.
Oh my.
And she kind of smiles like I said, fast pass. The mayor wants us to show this around during the festivities, get people interested in the new wave of cars, as he is going to propose a new skyway soon for these things. It's going to be a big thing for the city. So, you know, Dad, he's always trying to bring humanity one step further into the future.
She'll kind of wave the newspaper clipping at her, and she's like, well, I hope that when, you know, the baddies decide that they want to mess that up too, that the mayor's not so pissed when we try to stop it.
Who knows? Maybe we'll just hire you all on as personal security. Nothing against the law of that.
Does it pay? I might be inclined if it pays.
I did say hire. So, you know, it would all be cash because we can't really forward money into unknown bank accounts.
No, that would also be extremely dangerous for me. So, no. Yeah.
So as the
school is expensive. So
as the
we'll
two of
think
you
about it.
talk and begin to fly down, you're able to run down into your shop, grab Max's suit and hop back in. And as soon as you make your way towards give me a second.
For the record, because it's July themed, it is a navy blue suit with a red and white striped tie, horizontal striped tie.
Okay.
Or diagonal, sorry. Yeah.
As you begin to you grow ever closer towards the Capitol building, your cell phone rings. And it's one of the numbers stored in your phone, as it says Perkins.
I kind of sigh for a moment before kind of straightening up just instinctively as she's like, this is Miss Brooks speaking.
Paige. Perkins. I take it that you are en route to the Capitol building and have the suit in tow.
I'm right around the corner, yes.
Wonderful. Meet us in Maximilian's office. We have much to go over today.
Exciting. I'll see you there.
Understood. I will see you in 5. She phone hangs up, and as you begin to pull in, Max.
Yes, sir.
It is a busy day for you, sir. With
no pressure.
With the Founders Day parade and the speech and everything, your office has been abuzz for weeks, getting everything ready for this occasion. And as you are sitting at your desk, your multiple attendants catering to your every need, your hair and makeup people making sure that everything looks perfectly fine, as you await the arrival of Paige and your suit, you see Miss Perkins standing there, one arm crossed as the other one is held out, as she closes a very old-fashioned looking flip phone. And she turns to look at you. She's probably about 5'8", very slender, short jet black hair worn in a almost like side comb back fashion. She, black rimmed glasses that come to a point on one end, just wearing a very professional, very finely tailored black dress and a pair of black heels. And she kind of just like takes the phone, she taps her head for a moment with it, and begins to walk towards you as she drops two things on your desk. One is the 58th revision of your speech,
Oh,
and the other one is a newspaper front page and everything talking about the incident with the train that happened last night. As she looks at you, just very stern, almost mother-like. I redrafted your speech last night. Added a couple lines, knowing that you would probably go off the record anyway. Just a couple lines to show your support for the superhero community. But at no point in time, she reaches out and just very firmly taps the newspaper. Are you to address this, or you are to answer questions about this? Deflect as much as possible.
Oh.
I
He's gonna pick
understand
up.
your
Yep.
your mind wants to grandstand on this and talk about the glory that these heroes bring to the city. But this sort
He's
of
gonna-
thing
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
brings your rivals power, as they can feed off of anything you say. And trust me, they will be listening to you today, Maximilian. You must stick to the script. Read it, memorize it, deliver it. Are we understood?
Max, instead of immediately answering, picks up the newspaper and just kind of very quickly skims through it. And kind of just eventually just kind of bunches it back together, grabs it, and just starts to twist it like you would with a towel. And then just kind of drops it unceremoniously in the paper waste bin that's probably next to his desk, right? And he kind of looks up at Perkins and goes, "Ha! Is that the best they can do? Complain about a rail or two? Who cares if the taxpayers have to pay $1 million or $2 million in damage? We stopped how many tens of millions from being stolen? Hell. Have the company donate $500,000. It'll be good for the ratings and for the tax breaks. Oh, and have the mayor do a fundraiser and divert the rest from a hospital budget or two. Nobody will miss it, and it'll be like any other news. It'll be gone by next week. Hell, the Metro rag itself is like a petulant child with ADHD.
Does he
And then
kind
he'll
of
just pick up.
Too real, bro. Too real.
is she just stands there, just very cold, very calculating, listening to what you're saying, showing no emotion whatsoever. Now that you've got that off your chest, do not repeat that to the public. That
He's
is
gonna look back at you.
what is going to
Sorry.
lose you your seat, Maximilian.
He looks back at her and he says, obviously, contrary to what I'm sure you think of me, I'm not that stupid or suicidal. However, the company donating $500,000 is probably a good idea.
It's
Both,
already
like I said, for the ratings and the tax breaks.
It's already
I don't know,
taken care of,
you
sir.
can figure out if that's worth doing. Huh?
It's already taken care of, sir. I put forward the donations last night.
And this is why we have you on staff. I don't know where I'd be without you. Fine, Perkins. He looks and picks up the script this time for the discourse, and kind of skims through it, including, I guess, the revision, considering what happened recently. Frowns a little bit, looks back at her and says, "A little soft-handed, don't you think?"
It's a celebratory parade, sir. There's no need to go, as you say, balls to the wall.
Fine. No election level speech. Got it.
No, this is just a walk in the park.
Got it.
Deliver
Yada
the
yada.
speech, shake some
Have
hands,
a good time.
kiss
We're
some
opening
babies,
Fine.
eat your weight in barbecue.
And
Good old
he's
good old American values right there.
and he's definitely kind of speaking over her a little bit, and you
Yeah.
can see that he's not exactly like he's half listening like he usually does to her when she's trying to kind of admonish him and tell him to stay on script. Probably the biggest challenge she actually has with him is him not just cutting her off and just going like a train without brakes, you know what I mean? But by the time she gets to the end, you can see that he's kind of run out of that proverbial steam, and he kind of looks at her and says, well, I wouldn't be in this seat if you hadn't helped me get it in the first place. Fine. Kiss the babies, old American values, eat my weight in barbecue, don't go off the script, make sure we celebrate the Worthington Pharmaceuticals, opening a new branch, and don't go on a rant about how the superheroes are good for the city. Got it.
You stick to the
Anything
script.
else, Perkins? Oh, sorry.
Stick to the script, and everything will go quick and painless, and you can enjoy the rest of the festivities. And she says that, and not even waiting for you to answer, just very, very elegantly turning around and walking out as Paige walks into the room, carrying the case with your suit in it. And as she walks by you, Paige, she just nods. Miss Brooks.
Oh, good morning, Miss Perkins.
It is the morning.
It is. She'll just kind of do a little finger wave as she walks in.
And as she walks out, Perkins shuts the door and continues on her way.
I have your suit. Very patriotic-y for the day's events.
Max at this point puts down his speech that he was still kind of reading a little bit as Perkins walked out, and looks up at Paige and almost gruffly says, after one torture expert, the next. Well, let's see what you got me today. As he points at the suit.
Well, once again, she walks over and kind of hands it to him. Very patriotic for today's events. I know you have a big speech that I'm sure I would love to stand behind and pay attention to, as I'm sure you've already been given the newspaper for today.
He points to the trash, well, the paper waste basket, right? And he says, "Yep, I already filed it where it belongs."
Did you look at the section about Warren?
He kind of goes back to the waste basket.
No, she will actually smack his hand and she's like, no, good, you didn't. You don't need that in your head because I know you. You go off the rails, you're going to piss off the Perkins out there, and you may say something that would get us all in trouble. So please don't.
When she does that and smacks his hand and prevents him from like going back to the basket or at least unfurling the newspaper, he just drops it back into the waste basket, looks at her, and says, "Oh no. Now I gotta call downstairs and see who the hell cloned Perkins." That being said, he does open
That's not a compliment.
he kind of looks at her and says, "Here's one though. You look lovely today. I like the outfit."
Thank you. It's just very like deadpan.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It's not like, hey, you're acting like Perkins does not get offset by, hey, by the way, nice shoes,
Please
But
tell
yeah.
me I am not going to be part of the hover cars that are going to be paraded in the, well, parade.
He raises an eyebrow and he says, "What, ashamed of being part of the senator's entourage?" As he's saying that, by the way, he's slowly putting the suit on and testing it out and making sure it fits and everything, by the way. He is keeping his hands busy. He's not just ranting back and forth.
Well, I find them obnoxious and over the top, and I don't like being in super flashy things. It's already uncomfortable, no offense, being with you on these speeches and tours and everything, and to be in one of those vehicles just, ugh, I don't like it.
So he kind of nods for a sec and just pushes an intercom button on his desk. Paging hopefully Perkins' desk or her phone, depending on what is available right now.
As you press the button, Perkins walks in. You rang, sir.
Ugh.
Yes, Perkins, change of plans.
I don't believe I permitted any plan changing.
You know who's really in
Perkins.
charge here?
Yeah, Perkins, change of plans. We're taking ground transportation. None of that flying garbage.
Sir, you didn't read your itinerary, did you? There are no hover cars available. And
Even better.
the populace knows you as a endorser of the old ways, so ground transportation it is.
Excellent. Read my mind
Visible-
once again. As he
Visible sigh
turns-
of relief on page.
As
he
she like
turns the
shakes his
page.
head and like rolls her eyes. Sir, your itinerary has been done for weeks. I would hope you read it. She kind of looks over in like the unopened notebook, and she just, of course.
Max is gonna look back at Perkins.
It's
and he's gonna
amazing.
flat out tell her, "Why would I read when I have you, Perkins?"
It's amazing you are still a senator, sir. As she just turns and shuts the door and leaves.
And he just turns back to Paige and he goes, "See, no air cars. Satisfied?"
On different levels, sir.
He kind of raises an eyebrow when she calls him sir.
We're not in public. I don't have to address you as senator yet.
He rolls his eyes. And what happened to Max?
I'm still waking up. She's taking a sip from her to-go mug. Folder in other hand.
All right, I'm trying
Fair.
not to laugh. It's hard to keep a straight face. This is so much fun. Sorry. All right. Yeah, by that point, Max would have probably been more or less done putting on the suits. So he kind of looks back to Paige and says, "Well, how does it fit?"
Like a glove.
He'll nod and say, "Well, perfect job as always, Paige, I have to admit."
Well, the blue helps complement your eyes. That way people can kind of focus at your facial expressions a lot more easily while seeing how patriotic you can be for this day of remembrance. So with that in mind, it was to be perfect for today.
He'll once again nod. And he's going to say, "I think the best decisions I've ever made in my entire career was hiring both you and Perkins, as much as I complain."
Same.
And he'll nod once more and add very simply, with a very like snarky smile, looking at Paige. Because I mean, obviously, again, how he ended up meeting Paige. And he'll just simply say, "His mistake. Both of our benefit." And he'll snark. He'll snicker a little bit.
And as you say that, Perkins opens your office doors. If you are quite ready, sir, the entourage is here.
He looks back at Paige and he simply says, "Showtime."
She puts on her best smile as she will follow him out the door.
Yeah, he himself nods and follows follows everybody and the entourage and whatnot to the ground vehicles.
And as you walk out and you go to the ground vehicles, making your way out to the down to downtown Metro in order to partake in the festivities, deliver your speech and everything. It is a wonderful day for all of you. You eat your fill in barbecue and in sweets and street corn, anything you can get your hands on. Play a couple carnival games, enjoy the performance from Heartbreak City on their floats. Everything is amazing. Probably the best day ever that any of you have had for years. And as the night begins to dwindle down, Senator Maximilian Armstrong begins to approach a very well put together podium in the Central Park of downtown Metro to deliver the speech, which is to be followed by a very patriotic fireworks show. As everybody in attendance gathers up to celebrate the closing of a wonderful day. Max, you take the stage. There's applause and there's a couple, jeers. You can't win everybody over in votes, but for the most part, you do have the popular opinion here in Metro City. You did win by a very popular majority. And as you get up there and everyone's clapping and everything, and you sort of put the heavily revised speech from Miss Perkins on the podium. You tap the microphone, making sure it checks. You take a deep breath in order to begin your speech. Paige, you hear a little blip in your ear. Hey, you there? And it's Amelia talking to you.
Is everything okay?
Seismic charge just went off the rails over here. It doesn't look like any earthquake. It just doesn't register as an earthquake. Something is making its way to downtown.
How large?
She kind of you kind of hear multiple blips happen into the earpieces as even Max, the earpiece you're wearing, clicks on. Hey guys, I don't mean to ruin the festivities. I know this is supposed to be a secure channel and everything, but seismic charge just went off the rails. Something is headed towards Metro or downtown Metro. Don't know what's going, and is like she says this, a loud explosion happens across the street from the Central Park as this massive ant crawls up out from underneath the streets. And as it's sort of clambering on out, this thing is probably a good 15-20 feet tall. On top of it, an individual walks out and kind of just stands on its head with his arms crossed, dressed in like this black and red, like almost fire ant looking getup. Big old giant bug eyes on the helmet and just a pair of long antennae as it stands there. And he kind of just motions with his hand out as the ant begins to like rampage through the city, as he just lets out this maniacal laughter. And then Amelia kind of clicks back into your headset. And that's the cause of it.
An ant?
Look, I didn't know what the
Oh,
fuck
shit.
it was.
Oh, that was not what I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting. Uh, through the earpiece, we'll contact Max and go, we need to help you escape to safety to the car. As she's kind of making it like a code to get out, aka suit up.
As
Yeah.
and Max, as you have a couple bodyguards pushing you or like pulling you away from the podium, Perkins sort of comes out and she's like, do what you need to do, sir. I will hold it off. As she like lifts up just this rotary grenade launcher and spins the barrel. As she just like, as the people start rushing by, she just like starts firing off like 40mm shells at this ant.
God damn. Perkins is definitely
Yo.
in the runnings for best wife candidate,
Perkins
man.
Perkins is fucking best
I
girl.
love
Yeah.
her.
Fucking
Oh, yeah.
Perkins is waifu candidate right there. Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Give Perkins a
Yeah,
raise right now.
Max.
This is why
Max
she's
def-
paid all the money.
Max definitely would like with the bodyguards just kind of grab, Paige and just definitely just do the whole like politician thing where he's kind of getting like surrounded, half covered by all the guards and just like dragged towards the car almost like you said. And definitely like get into the vehicle. I'm assuming the driver for his limo is the same guy who drives his
Yep.
juggernauts. It's the same guy that
And
he would trust to be there.
As you get into the car, you see he's already got the mask on.
Why am I getting into the Incredibles movie flashbacks right now?
A little bit, a little bit. Um,
I'm the miner.
but yeah, no. As soon as they get into the car, Max would just kind of look at Paige and just say sorry as he just kind of tears the upper part of the suit off.
Really?
I'll fix it later. And his
At least
Which-
save the tie.
You mean
the tie's
Perkins
still
will
there.
fix it later.
Funny enough, he did not tear the tie off. He just tore everything else off. The tie actually stayed. And he'll just take the tie off, like when she says, please save the tie, instead of just tearing it, he'll like kind of try to undo it a little bit, fiddle with it, as it's kind of annoying, and his like big
Fucking Windsor knots.
hulked out hands are not able to like navigate the knot anymore because he's just kind of half transformed at this point. His face is
I'm kidding.
like, yeah, his face is already kind of changing shapes, getting that big American like
Jaw.
chiseled chin thing and everything that's going on. The eyes have already turned from blue to red. The
Wait,
hair has gone from like
turns
blonde
into
to
a
black.
Chad?
He turns
does.
into a Chad.
Yeah, he turns
Yeah.
he turns
Kind
into a
of,
Giga Chad.
not really, but kind of.
He kind of hulks out.
A little bit. It's like he was trying to Hulk out and stopped halfway, kind of deal. And he kind of opens up a a glass cases and just puts the glasses on.
Clark Kending the fuck out of this.
Like reverse Clark Kenting
Yeah.
it, and as he kind of like fiddles, he kind of looks at Paige and he goes, "Do you mind helping? I'm gonna tear the goddamn thing off."
Oh, Jesus Christ. She's just like going over and just like helps. Not hard.
With this, and he opens like a hand that's literally like it could probably use Paige's hand as a freaking basketball at this
You
point.
can
Head as a
take it off
basketball,
before you hulk out. That's all I'm saying. It's not that hard.
In a bit of a rush, giant ant outside.
I
Get
didn't think
changed.
that
Talk later.
far ahead as to like how Paige changes
Mm-hmm.
or carries a suit around. I don't want to Spider-Man it where I just always have it on me.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess details later, but perhaps there's a spare one in the car for now.
Should
I
be.
don't know.
Probably.
I haven't
Perkins
thought about it
had
that
it
far
back in the
ahead.
trunk of the car just in case.
Yeah. And she will change, no shame, as she changes right in front of him. and she'll kind of like Clark Kent, just kind of takes the bun down so her hair's like long and curly, and then puts the mask
Takes
on.
the glasses off.
I love it. One takes the glasses off, the other puts the glasses on.
It's like the two of you get into the car
Like, they
and
swap glasses.
the two of you get
Here
to the
you go.
car and it just starts rocking and everything as you're trying to get changed, and you both exit out in your gear.
No one suspects a thing.
Tabloids have got to go crazy about them getting into a car and then having it rock.
Yeah,
Well,
but see, most of the tabloids are focused on the giant fucking ant right now.
And,
Sure.
at this point, I'm sure the driver would probably like drive us around a couple of blocks and drop
Yeah.
us off, not
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it
yeah,
right
yeah.
where we entered.
Yeah, no, we're not at the
so
we're making it look like you're
getting
escaping to
away, yeah.
safety.
Exactly.
So as this is happening, the rest of you who are not any sort of political importance, sort of in the crowds as all this commotion starts happening, and you see this large ant barreling down onto Central Park, just like knocking over food stands and stepping into like barbecue smokers and upturning cars and everything. And the individual standing on top of the ant just lets out this maniacal laugh. He's like, yes, I have ruined your picnic, Metro City. Now you will all bow to the power of the Ant King.
Oh my god.
What an antagonist.
So
Oh
this is
God.
definitely like the end of The Incredibles with the mole man.
With
I
the
love it.
underminer?
He is,
With the underminer?
Yeah.
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 he is the anti-hero.
I imagine with the ant coming up and the band and the security the band has as they're being rushed off as well. I think Gemma and Frankie just look for a moment to slip into the crowd and off into a darker corner to try and separate themselves from the band and get away from the
Yeah.
security measures that they're put into place for the situations.
I look at Anthony and I'm like, and
As
then
he-
just
as
Where
he-
we're going.
He's like, yeah, it's morphin time. Go do your thing.
and then it is like Wonder Twins.
Yeah.
And
We probably backstage near where the dressing rooms are anyway, and we just steal into a couple random dressing rooms, not even our own ones.
yeah, just
It's probably just one dressing room. Let's be honest, we probably went into the same room, got dressed.
yeah. Let's see. Is there anything that any like raid or anything like that?
Not really. Raid isn't really something you carry around the backstage of a concert.
Yeah, closet.
You don't know that.
You know someone that
Yeah,
you know.
we just
is
happen to
Raid.
keep 50-gallon drums of Raid just hanging around
Right.
like parade floats.
Just in case the giant fucking ant attacks, you know.
He just pointing at herself like, yeah.
Fair.
So as the two of you duck in and you get changed, you go rushing out back into the park.
Gemma's probably bitching about something like, if I actually had a sniper rifle, they'd be handy right now. But now he's telling me, no, don't get a sniper rifle.
No, a Barrett 50 cal is not civilian issue. But as like you guys
Yeah.
go running out, Mary kind of looks at you and she's like,
A random roadie walking around with a fucking 50 cal.
it was a nice day. I guess it's time for your darker side to come out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I really wanted more barbecue.
Well,
Fair.
it hasn't destroyed all of the barbecue yet.
Right. So I go stop it and you raid the barbecue stands.
She kind of like, not really, but I guess I can try. I was
We can
thinking
track
of,
him down and pay him for it.
she's like,
actually.
I was thinking of running with the rest of the group or the rest of the crowd as you take on the giant ant. Why is there an ant?
I don't know, but like, I swear I've seen this movie before.
I swear I've played this video game before. She kind of like squints her eyes, just like, Motherfucker just stole the costume right out of Fallout.
I thought I recognized it.
Right?
Hey, do you think we should get more monster movies in the store?
You know what? Talk about that later. Get big and scary. I'm gonna go this way. And she kind of like runs off.
Okay, cool. Yeah, see you later. And I'm just gonna go find an alley somewhere. And the transformation is a very quick, and unlike most of my other characters that transform in some fashion, it is a quick and painless one for Condor. He just like vanishes in a puff of black smoke, and then when he apparates again, it is cryptid. So he vanishes and then reapparates as cryptid, and then this big wispy goat man just comes charging out of the alley towards the giant ant.
Okay. And as the as cryptid starts looming out of the shadows, charging towards this, you know, skyscraper style of an ant, Louis, you were kind of like back near the food area, sort of just like enjoying everything that it had to offer. You know, not, you know, you were in earshot of the festivities of like the speech and everything, but there's barbecue. I mean, anyone give a barbecue to listen to a speech? That's not American.
Nope.
But yeah, you see the ant just pop up, and you're probably the closest to it as it comes up out of the ground and starts clambering towards the park itself. And it's like an all-out panic out around you.
So does Louis have one of these super secret earpieces that has Amelia attached to the other end of it?
Amelia has given everyone of you at some point in time one of these communicators. This is how you, for the past couple months, have stayed in touch with one another.
Okay. So Louis just basically just sighs heavily, and he's like, ah, he's like, so he looks for like an alley or someplace that has like, you know, low visibility, someplace that has like, you know, low camera angles. Um, and as he's backing into the area, he basically superheats the air around him to basically distort his image. Um, and when he finds a spot where he can, you know, it's fairly, you know, incognito. Um, Louis' super suit is kind of a homemade thing. Um, he basically has like he gets like a lot of surplus nonsense from, you know, underground resources and like back alley, you know, dark web dealerships and whatnot. So he has like this so his mask, so he people look at him like he's insane because he's walking around in like a black jumper with a hood.
On
You know, the
fire.
hood's down. Well, no, he's down. You know, the hood's down. You know, like I said, the air is just superheated, so it's kind of like, you know, it's like it's
Wispy.
hazy around
Yeah.
him. Yeah. So you know, he basically he like, you know, he reaches into his collar and he pulls up like this like carbon fiber, um, like bottom mask, and he basically pulls his hood over, and it like, you know, attaches to the mask with a visor. um and then he basically, like, he has an ability. I was telling you, I'm not sure if you read it, it's this flame transfiguration. So it's kind of like Ghost Rider.
Mm-hmm.
So he has like, you know, he like it's like he's not sure how he does it, because in his mind it doesn't make much sense, but he basically manipulates, you know, things that he's in contact with to basically give them like some sort of flame um effigy. So that's his super suit.
Okay.
So he basically he has to provide something for it to attach to, so which is why he covers himself up so you can't see his face, because he can't really cover his face with flame. He can't do the the Johnny Storm thing yet. And then basically, literally, like, he bursts into flame, and he's suited up, flaming scarf, has his weird little hood, looks like a helmet, and all his, red plating is in place. And then he just, runs out, and just confronts the ant.
Okay.
And he's gonna just basically just he is going to shoot flames at the antenna of the ant. And he's doing that because a very good friend of his was a manipulator of insects, and he knows, unfortunately, way too much about insects for his own good.
Aww.
So, okay. So go ahead and give me a
Good
power.
one callback.
Give me a power roll. And let's make it a 3. Because you are trying to focus shot.
3 on the nose.
Nice. Okay, so you fly out into, like, to be able to see the head of this ant, and you let out a torrent of flame onto the antenna, and it starts like writhing and like whipping its head back as it takes a couple steps back to get out of the torrent itself. You could see that the antennae are singed as the individual on the top of the ant kind of like turns its head. Oh no, you are not ruining this day for me. He kind of like reaches down, he places his hand on the ant, and you could see like just a little pulse sort of go through the ant as the antennae are healed. Let's not do that again, Flame Man. Just let me have this. You can go derail another train for all I care, but the Ant King must have his day.
What a fucking loser.
Ant King must have his day.
Look, you think episode 1 I'm going to introduce some like A-tier villain?
No, I love him.
You get the
but
Batman
that's just kind of
Z-tier
like-
list. This is like Condiment
This is
King level.
Condiment Man.
This is Condiment King shit right here.
I love
I love
it.
how we did that.
I love it, but I have a feeling that Frankie says that as well.
Is there any, like, he sees that he can heal him, and he doesn't want to, like, Louis is reluctant to use like his abilities on people depending on the situation, and he's not sure, like, if this guy can heal, he's not sure if he's going to have any effects on him without doing something like potentially life-threatening. Is there like some large pane glass in the storefronts?
Hold on to that, because as you were firing that burst and having this interaction with him, everyone else is coming onto the scene as well. We're just gonna like go through like a turn order here.
Gotcha.
But like almost in unison, all of you sort of like show up into the situation shortly after Louis' opening salvo of fire towards this giant ant. Ant King kind of looks down at the rest of you. Oh, come on! How is it all 6 of you are here? What, you all just had to take in the festivities today? You couldn't just let me have this? I've been planning this for months. Come on,
Really?
it's a park.
This was the plan you came up with?
Look, it's the break on the scene. Okay, you gotta make your name for yourself. Come on, the guys won't let me in their club unless I actually get this done. So can you just step aside and let me just trash the area?
What guys and what club?
None of your business.
Is there
I
a
mean-
tall building around while they're having this
Enough,
talk?
Percival. Eat them.
Percival.
Can
As
I do like a?
the ant kind of like turns its head, and like its little mandibles begin to like chitter.
Mm.
Can we just let him have this one?
I just like. Can, I kind of like him, but as I was just, I think that can Frankie do like a pulse of something to like. I'm trying to see if she can kind of shield them or like kind of push them back.
Yeah, you can definitely
Like a
try to use
not
your
a sonic boom, but like something similar.
so with enough sonic force to be able to have some sort of physical pushback is what you're going for.
Yes. Can
Okay.
she do that with like
Yeah, most definitely.
sound?
Are you going for the ant for this, kind of like trying to keep the ant back from like advancing on you, or is
I
this
kind of want to do that, but I also kind of want to do it on the Ant King and not to knock him off.
okay? You know, with the force that where you're at now, everything, that if you hit the ant king, you're probably gonna knock him off.
All right. Fuck it. Let's knock him off of his horse. Ant
Horse.
thing.
Okay.
Ant horse.
So you
Horsent.
so you're just like doing like a concentrated burst of like sonic energy towards the ant king at the top. Go ahead and
Yeah.
okay, let's do a power roll and let's make it a 3.
Okay. Hang on. I literally just hang on. I had no wonder why I couldn't find my D4s because I put them in my dice tray and I was looking in my bag.
Good job.
Okay, so what is the thing?
It's the power rating you're trying to hit is a 3.
Okay, and then do I use
Nope.
a power die as well?
Nope,
Okay,
it's
so
just the D4.
Oh, I hit a 4.
Okay, so that explodes, which means now you get to roll a D6 on top of it.
It bounced out, but that's a 1. So
No,
5.
roll it in the tray. Has to be in the tray. None of this on the floor shit.
2.
2. Okay, so a grand total of 6. Which is double the amount of what you needed. As you you take like a running step forward and you kind of pull your arm back and just
Like a softball pitch?
yeah, just like a softball pitch, and you kind of like bring it forward and just let out what sounds like a very loud guitar riff as it slams into the ant king and it lifts him up off of the ground with enough power that he's driven back and he hits a building that's behind him, and he kind of is just like, as long as you keep that power on him, he's kind of just like held in place as you kind of just like hear him shrieking. Life of Dice, thank you for that raid. As he's like, oh god, you can't play music worth shit. Is like he's just, you can tell that the high-pitched noise coming from this guitar riff is just murdering his ears. And he's like, Percival, that one first. And the ant kind of like looks at you and begins to like walk towards you. What about the rest of you? As give me a second, because I still see that Max Armstrong is the only one on here.
Awkward.
Awkward.
Oh no.
You could probably create 2 different.
I'm going. Yeah, that was
yeah.
my plan, and just shift between them when you guys are in hero and
Yeah.
not in hero.
Yeah.
But I can now just add everybody's hero. There we go.
Yeah.
So
Winning.
There we go.
Gemma would like to. Can she see a way to possibly scale the building that he's being held up against?
Some clever parkour, maybe.
Well, she'll probably start running towards the building. I don't know how far she'll get during this turn, But as she's running, she's going to yank out her phone, pull up some sort of video she probably has saved of people doing parkour. Start copying the ability as she's running.
Okay.
And head for trying to get up to where he's at.
Okay. So you pull up just a quick YouTube video. Go ahead and give me a power roll. Again, let's call it a 3. It's a bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
Because you have no idea what kind of video you're pulling out here.
Actually, managed to get a 3.
Okay. You're able to find an actual parkour video and not the office parkour.
Yeah.
That was a
She's
risk.
like, I really gotta get a better system for this.
Yeah, it's like your powers are depending on the YouTube algorithm. That is playing with fire. But you're able to like quickly like watch something, copy it, put your phone away, and you begin to scale up the building, kind of just leaping from like open windowsills to balconies and whatnot, just making your way towards him.
If I manage to get to him, she's going to want to she'll probably pull out her baton, and she probably wants to give him she's trying to knock him out so Frankie can lower him down.
Okay.
Whack. She's gonna start whacking out.
Okay, so you can do that next turn, because that is going to be a separate roll. But he sees you kind of like clambering and jumping, and he's like, really? Parkour? What is this, 98?
You're telling me that. Have you seen what you look like?
Oh, that is it. And he kind of like looks like, Percival, never mind, that one. Like the ant stops and like turns and like looks at you.
Percival doesn't know what to do.
Mr. Strong, Euphoria, and Cryptid. Guys, any of you want in on this?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Wouldn't miss it for the barbecue.
I'll go ahead and let Cryptid go first.
So Cryptid was running in on the scene from an alley somewhere, and I think it's just going to keep that momentum going, charging forward towards the ant as quickly as it possibly can, and lowering its head down a bit to point those angry goat horns right at the side of this ant. And when it gets like within 20-25 feet of the ant, Cryptid's going to kind of teleport to the side of the ant, but like slightly underneath it, to keep all of that forward momentum going and kind of hit it at an upwards diagonal to try and topple it over.
All right, go ahead and give me a power roll. Make it a 3.
That's exactly a 3.
Exactly a 3. No, I just realized that we don't have music. What is wrong with me tonight?
First episode. There's a lot to do.
Lot to do. We're all super hyped.
So Cryptid runs out from the shadows. You see him just picking up speed, and much like you guys have seen of him, when you have seen him, he just sort of just apparates out of you, and then he reappears underneath and just slams right into like the underside of Percival with enough force to get the ant to kind of like catch air a little bit, not completely knocking him on his side, but he sort of like stumbles, putting a little bit of distance between him and Gemma. Strong, Euphoria.
Would I be able to do 2 things?
Depends.
I want to basically fill up my body with helium so she can float up higher to be kind of closer to this like ant's face.
Okay.
And kind of hover there and then spray it with a chemical. If not, I have a backup plan.
That's going to be 2 power rolls, so I'm going to say no.
Okay. She is going to look at Maxon, and she was just like, Strong, can you throw me up there so I'm close to its face, please?
I thought you'd never ask.
And then, as she gets ready, she's going to shout up, and go, and say, Flashpoint, if you're ready, when I'm in position to spray, light it up.
And you hear Ant King sort of get a panic in his voice, like, no, don't light it up. Do not hurt Percival. He is an innocent, nice boy. Leave him alone. So, Strong, if you are going to fastball special Euphoria here, go ahead and give me a power roll. We're going to make it a 2 because it's throwing somebody, and Strong knows how to throw things.
You just do a King Kong gif of Max.
Strong also knows how to roll a 6.
Yes.
Oh,
She did. It's amazing.
wait, how can you roll a 6?
No, our powers are
Oh,
4.
powers is no.
Power.
Sorry, I thought you meant strength. My
No,
bad.
power.
My
You're
bad.
using your power here.
Okay, that's a 2.
A 2? Good enough. As you pick up Paige and just, not Paige, you pick up Euphoria and just launch her through the air like a lawn dart. Euphoria, you catch air, and as you see yourself passing the front of Percival here.
I am going to extend my hands forward and release a pesticide in its face.
Okay, go ahead and give me a power roll of 3.
Okay. That is a 3 on the die.
3 on the die. So you fly by, you extend your hand out, and you just spray this thing right in the face with some combination of natural pesticide that you form in your body. And it kind of, Percival kind of like whips his head back and forth. It seems to be more of an annoyance, like you just hit him in the face with pepper spray, but it doesn't necessarily kill him. But as you fly by him, you kind of like grab onto one of the rails of the balconies on the building across the street from you, sort of, securing yourself there so as you don't splat against the wall.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Flashpoint, you see that very thick pesticide sort of hit the giant ant in the face.
Light
You're
it
muted.
up.
You're still muted. There you
Sorry.
Oh, there we go.
So he sees that, he just reaches back and he brings his hands forward and claps them into a fist, and he basically just like ergon cannon shoots the head where like all the concentrated spray is, and he's like, and he just screams like, fire in the hole.
And you see him just like bring the hands together, and just a mass of superheated energy builds up and just shoots towards the ant. Can I get a power roll of 3?
Okay. 3.
As this superheated flame slams into this ant's face and starts like drilling into him a little bit before the pesticide catches fire and just begins to spread like along the head, and this ant begins to let out a horrible like shriek as it starts whipping its head and body around, trying to like douse the flames, sort of stumbling around, crashing into like a large tree, knocking it over into a couple cars in the street. But it very quickly runs out of oxygen and just dies, as you have this giant ant now dead laying in the park and across the street. And as this giant ant falls, Ant King sort of gives just a very shrill shriek And he's like, Percival, no, you monsters.
Is it that I feel bad? For a fucking ant.
You killed my baby boy.
Maybe you shouldn't be bringing your babies to battles.
And you say that as you're just like now like holding on to like the side of the wall, just like right in front of him, or like right on the side of him.
But you had that right.
Yeah. I keep on saying I want to say replicator.
It's based off that.
Yeah.
Shortened.
But you're just sort of standing there, like hanging there, sort of pulling out the collapsible baton in your hand. And he kind of just looks at it. He's like, "Oh, just do it. You guys suck."
We suck.
No, I kind of don't want to.
Oh, God. You can't make
No,
me.
she'll do it still. She's just trying to knock him out.
Okay.
Replica just batons. his
Go
head.
ahead and give me
There is a moment where she thinks about it though. She's like, "Do I?"
give me
Okay.
give me a weapon
worth it?
give me a weapons roll of 3.
Okay, let's see what this guy does.
Oh no.
3.
3.
Oh shoot.
As he kind
It's
of
hard
like
to
looks
read,
at you and
it's
he was like, "Oh, just do
it's
it."
all
You
done.
catch him right across the jaw, and his head kind of whips a little bit, and his body just goes limp in the still trapped in the sonic wave from
kinda,
Frankie. As
I
Frankie,
kind of slowly bring him down.
you kind of like drag him down as you're doing that. It's kind of like carving, just a whole, like just carving out like a section of the building as you're doing that.
I mean, by that I mean like I leave less like he's not. I don't want to cause more damage.
Okay, if you're trying to control
You mean
the
like
damage,
a whirlwind?
if you're trying to cause less damage here, because you kind of like implanted him into the wall and first blast, so there's an indentation there already. But if you're trying to lessen the effect and bring him down, give me a power roll. Let's make it a 3.
So because I exploded last
It's
time.
a D6 now.
This is why they're not on the cards.
2.
2.
Oh.
So you're like trying your hardest to like not carve out a section of building, and you start bringing them down, and you're not doing that great, and like you panic because you don't want the bad press anymore after the whole train ordeal, so you just release the power as he sort of like falls and just thuds on the top of a car.
He's okay though. I mean,
You hear
alive.
you hear an audible
Hey, it means he's alive.
Sorry.
I'm gonna look around and see if there's anyone watching that's not like, got their phones out, trying to like videotape and all that stuff. Like
Oh.
someone who stands out.
Is Johnny
So you look
Johnny
at
Bravo
yeah.
there?
you like Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Jordan.
Johnny Bravo.
Johnny
Oh,
Bravo.
mama.
So
Oh,
you
mama.
look around and you can see like people have gone back probably about a good 200 feet. Some of the people who were a part of like the recording crew and whatnot for different news agencies and people who were there to record the speech and everything all have their cameras out recording what is going on. You look up at the rooftops, there's a couple people up there with cell phones out and everything. This is like, if you were trying to keep this off the internet, it is definitely not going to be kept off the internet.
Is there someone standing out though that's like just observing without any camera or anything?
Yes. Probably about a good 20 feet from you. And just like,
Oh.
just decked out in like the most atrocious looking collaboration of Heartbreak City merchandise is Johnny Jordan just standing there just with like almost stars in his eyes as he's just like standing there looking at you guys and how you've taken out this this giant ant and the Ant King, saving the people in Central Park and most of the festivities. and he just lets out a yeah. Is like he starts like clapping like an idiot and everything like that. But Johnny's fervor starts to slowly catch on as everybody else in the area, for the most part, begins to cheer and clap and, you know, hoot and holler for you guys as you have technically saved the day.
While this is happening, I'd like to have Max check around and see if there's anybody who would be currently caught under rubble or anything like that that actually needs help right now.
Thankfully enough, the only person who's caught under a little bit of rubble is the Ant King, that with the rubble that fell with him as Frankie kind of like let him drop.
Okay.
I tried.
Yeah, if that's the case, if there's no like civilians right now that are in danger or injured or in need of assistance or anything like that.
1 second, I'm sorry, I forgot to say, Frankie, because you failed, you take
Adversity token?
1 point of stress.
Oh,
And
this is how it goes.
Yep.
Okay.
And you get a heroic token to use.
Oh, that's a.
Instead of an adversity
Yep.
token, it's a heroic token. You're heroes after all.
It's true.
Are we?
I need a hero.
So,
Does
sorry about
this
that, Tilt. But go
Yes.
ahead.
All that could be heroes.
I was just saying, if there are no civilians or anybody right now in need of actual assistance or anything, I think Max would go and fish the Ant King out from the rubble, not to just leave him there under rubble like that.
And go ahead.
Oh, sorry. And I was just gonna say we'd probably just, if we can, fish him out from the rubble and either tuck him under our arm, holding him like kind of hanging under our arm, or if he's functional enough, just hold him properly so he doesn't get away.
Out like a
But
light.
Okay, yeah. Then we're just plopping him under our arm,
Yeah,
holding him in a relatively
football carrying
acceptable.
him. And as he's kind of
Yeah,
like,
but just in a relatively acceptable position. I
It's
don't
like-
want him to be just like
he's
hanging.
like dangling in your arms. The ant helmet falls off, and you can see just like this very poorly, probably self-done bowl cut, sort of like just hanging out. Like it's very uneven in places. You see a pair of like very thick, like square frame glasses with like broken tape, or like tape in the center, just like holding it together. And you see, but you do see like on his head, there's like a surgically implanted transceiver that like seemingly allows him to communicate and control ants, at least.
As soon as the helmet falls off him, is he wearing a cape? Is he one of those villains?
No, it was just the red and black like ant suit.
Okay.
But like as you're carrying him, it's like this ant suit, it's goalie armor.
Gotcha.
It's like goalie pads. It's not even anything impressive. He just sort of took the padding and like out of like a like the protective gear
He just
that a
went to
goalie
Big
wears.
Five
Yeah, he went to
and
like
went
Big
Ace
Five
and grabbed some like spray cans.
He went to Big Five, and then he went to like Home Depot, got some spray cans, and like just threw this all together. The only like sound technological parts of their gear seems to be that helmet. That helmet is actually a decent piece of tech, but costume wise itself, it's like he went to Big Five and just threw something together.
If there's anything nearby, a piece of tarp clothing, anything that's lying around, I'd still like to cover his head than his face. We'll pick up the helmet with our other hand and kind of just keep it under our other arm, I guess, kind of like you said, football carry the helmet. And as we join up the others, I'd probably have him just kind of give the helmet to Paige and just kind of mumble, hopefully not having anybody kind of read his lips too much, and just kind of mumble to her, like talk into her ear and just tell her, hey, make this disappear for later.
All right.
As you hand that helmet over, the sirens finally, once again, begin to blare as a very large police force is heading towards the Central Park area after all this happened, knowing that you are not on their #1 list at the moment. The Juggernaut comes flying around the corner, still blaring the national anthem as it does.
God,
Comes
Took him long enough.
your
It's Founders Day, baby.
your driver sits there, that black eye mask over his face, very like Green Hornet Kato style.
Nice.
Just in a suit, just with
Cool.
the black mask. And he kind of like looks over to you and he grabs like a pull rope and just kind of like giving you guys a signal as the side of the
general
as the side of the Juggernaut opens up and like a little ramp comes down for all of you to run up on if you wish to escape the scene before the cops arrive.
No, he
So-
pulls the rope and it plays the first bar of like 3 cheers for the red, white, and blue.
We're gonna probably bring the Ant King here. At this point,
Copper.
yeah, sadly, the Ant Child. I feel bad, man. I feel like I just bullied a nerd. We're gonna bring the Ant King here and just at this point, we can't take him with us. He does have to face due process. But on the flip side, fuck, do we want to send a kid like that to jail? Ugh.
Yes.
He ruined
Yeah,
the
no, I know.
barbecue.
I know he's a kid, but
He's
bad guy.
He's a kid, but he's a kid with a weird implant in his forehead.
And we just killed his puppy.
Yeah. He's got yeah.
Yeah.
You're holding on to him, so it's your choice.
Oh no, Max is looking at the rest of the group, and you can see he's clearly thinking it over.
Give him to the cops. Give him a win.
As the window kind of like rolls, like the passenger side window of the Juggernaut rolls down, he's like, "Boss, we gotta go. Cops are almost here."
Fine, we're gonna quickly bring him to Johnny. What's his name? I always forget his last name.
You're gonna bring Johnny Jordan with us?
No,
Johnny
I'm gonna
Jordan?
put the guy down
In front of
good
Johnny
health,
Jordan.
in front
Oh.
of Johnny,
I was gonna
and say and tell him, "Hey, #1 fan, right?"
Oh Jesus Christ.
As he's like, yeah, hell yeah.
You do me a super solid here.
Super solid.
Oh,
As
Jesus
he kind of
Christ,
like
I'm cringing.
sticks out a thumbs up as he's like literally shaking, as Johnny is probably about 5'6", wiry frame individual. He's got like a bright bleached like Van Dyke goatee, just shock blonde hair with like frosted tips, just everything you would think of like a 90s like disc jockey would look like.
Oh my god, he's an NSYNC reject.
Incredible.
And without really giving him the time to answer, because we're short on time, he's gonna say, tell you what, do me that super special favor here. Make sure that the cops get to this guy and he faces real justice. Yes.
Hell yeah, Mr. Strong, you got it.
Real important mission. I got some other saving to do now. I gotta go make sure he gets to the cops. I'm gonna give him the best, like, side smile with the glinting tooth and the fucking thumbs up,
And he gives you like just
typical.
the goof. He just like full fish cast thumbs up as you like
There
walk
you
away.
go. There you go. And yeah, we're running right back up the ramp of the Juggernaut and getting the hell out of here.
And as you board the Juggernaut and everything seals up, and you drive off right as a couple police cars come in from like the opposite side of the street. Perkins is sitting there sort of just slowly turning the rotary chambers of the grenade launcher. Oh, you brought friends, I see.
And you didn't blow up any cop cars. I call that a win for everyone.
No, see, unlike you, sir, I am precision in my strikes.
True, and thank you for holding that thing back. Thanks to you, no civilians got injured. I, again, don't know what I'd be doing without you, Perkins.
It is the
Does
life
Perkins
of a...
have a Kato mask?
No, she's just still full business suit.
Yep.
Like just
All right.
just the black dress.
Is
like
it,
everything
is, it
is
widely...
everything is still pristine. No dirt, no dust, no anything. Not even a single hair is out of place.
Jeez.
He's amazing. Oh
Is,
my
is,
lord.
is it widely known that she works for the senator?
She is everybody knows her as the senator's right hand. Like, if any speeches or any like statements have been issued, it's always been from Miss Perkins if it hasn't come from the senator himself.
So Louis at this point, Flashpoint, is basically, gonna speak up, under his hood. He's still, incognito. And since she's speaking to him as if he's an authority, um, he's gonna look at Stephen Strong and go, "Are you Senator Max?"
As she quickly stands up and she's like, "You think that's the no. This is a side gig that I do. I'm implanted with the senator. I'm a part of the Secret Service. I am an agent, Agent Perkins, by the way. When situations like this arise, it is my duty to protect the senator, and Mr. Strong has been lending his aid when things arise that put the senator's life in danger. In all intents and purposes, and much against my recommendation, he is commanding officer here."
Flashpoint's
So
gonna
he's the
go.
senator's bodyguard.
And
Sorry, go ahead.
she again, very nonchalant, no emotion on her face as she says this. As she walks over and she grabs just like a pistol off the table, checks if there's like a round in the chamber and everything like that, and just like holsters it. She like slings on like a shoulder holster and holsters it. Now I don't have to tell you that this is a much guarded secret, and we can't have anybody spilling the beans, as they would say. So are we going to drop you off at home, or do I need to dig multiple graves?
Flashpoint's gonna go, "Cute. You can just, open up the door over the seedier part of town. I'll make my way back home."
You will be
We
dropped
can
off
make
where
our
we
own way
drop
back
you
home.
off. As she kind of like walks over and she presses an intercom button. "James, the usual rendezvous spot."
James?
Our driver. His name is James.
Yeah, that's Kato.
That's Kato, aka Kato.
Yeah, Kato.
James.
Like,
You know what? Fuck it. His name is James Cato.
I've never
There you go,
even-
love it.
Yes.
Japanese now.
And then she
where do we get let out at?
she just very nonchalantly walks over and just sits down and holds one leg over the other and just watches all of you.
Jim is just watching her, like very tense, watching her, like ready to, if she makes any move towards them, she's ready to act back. But as long as she's relaxed,
It-
Gemma's just standing there.
It makes you a little nervous, Gemma.
Oh yeah, she makes me very
Because
nervous.
there is not
She's-
a tense muscle on her body. Her
Yeah,
face
that's
is
even worse.
pure stone. There's just no reading her.
Yeah, no, she's a liker.
As she pulls out a flip phone, just a very old style flip phone, flips it open, presses a button, places it to her ear. It's Perkins. Is the senator safe? Back at the mansion. Understood. Yes. I will be there in an hour. Yes, Perkins out. He hangs up the phone and tucks the phone away.
Flashpoint goes, you're into old tech too. And he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out like a modified BlackBerry.
Harder to hack.
Well, I need a keyboard for some of the things I do.
Hmm.
It's not all flash in the pan.
If she just looks at you. You don't know if she's sizing you up or if like she's impressed or what. She's just okay.
If she has any technical skill whatsoever, she can tell that this is basically a hacker phone. Like it's like
And
it's
if she does, she's not letting onto it.
Yeah. Like, it looks like a BlackBerry, but anyone who's in the know knows 100% like this is a hacker's phone.
And if, as the car is driving away, or the car, this beast of a freight truck
Flying freight truck.
drives on for about an hour before setting you down. And as it opens up, you see about 3 top of the line hover cars. And standing there in a very vibrant white like summer suit, her hair still in that very long braid, is Amelia. She kind of smiles over to Euphoria, and Perkins walks over to Strong. Go with them, sir. I believe this one has important information to discuss with you. I'll make sure that the senator is well taken care of. Report back in when you can.
On that note, obviously Max will nod and give her somewhat of a lazy military salute. Yes, ma'am.
She kind of like places her hand on yours and she like leans in. You're the commanding officer here, sir. Don't salute me. It looks weird.
He kind of rolls his eyes and says, "All right, well, Perkins, you know what to do. We'll talk later."
I always do, sir. And as you walk off, the side of the Juggernaut seals back up and the giant freedom barge sort of flies off into the night. And Amelia kind of like smiles, just like looking at over at all of you, and mainly to Euphoria. Well, I guess there is no time like the present for all of you to talk after that ordeal.
Euphoria kind of like narrows her eyes at Amelia, kind of like that look of like, really now? Just kind of like, ah.
She kind of she shakes her head. It's like, look, you're trending number 1 in every social media platform out there. There are music videos already set to various tunes of you slaughtering that giant ant and dropping that guy
when she says that, Louis pulls out his little computer phone and he just like
and as it's like the number 1 video is just like a already professionally done montage of like your guys' fight set to the tune of I Need a Hero.
Yeah, he's like, oh my god. He's like, we're over
Classic.
1 million views already. This just happened. Nice.
Is the song actually playing right now?
Yes. I
Yeah,
can't.
like
I
he's
can't
like
play it.
it's not in his ear.
I
He's like
can't-
literally playing the actual video.
Yeah, I can't
Matt-
play it right now because that would copyright strike the hell out of
No,
me.
It'd
for
be
sure.
the
But I'm just saying,
Heartbreak City
Max
cover.
is 100% humming along to the song and bobbing his head.
Oh God.
There's talking involved. Can we talk about what the fuck just happened? Who the fuck was? Well, I know who the fuck Perkins was, but why the fuck was she in that hover car? In that car?
You heard her. She's.
I know what she
nervous.
said. I don't buy it.
As
Is
Amelia
this our
kind of
first time meeting? Is this our first time seeing Amelia, or have we always just heard her as an intercom voice?
you've only heard her as an intercom voice, but you have seen
I thought she passed them out to us.
that was Euphoria who passed it out to you, but you have seen Amelia on TV as she is like the head of one of the R&D facilities of Masterson Industries, Masterson Technologies. So you know who she is. She's a very public facing official.
That part, I take it back. Jimmy would not have said that in front of her if she doesn't know who the fuck this person is, other than
Yeah,
her
flat-
persona.
Yeah, Flashpoint would go, nice to put a face to the voice. Can I get a tour?
I don't see why not, though. You're gonna probably want to be in casual clothing. It'll draw less attention. She kind of like shakes her head. Look, I already know who all of you are, okay? You can't get around the city without us knowing anything. But I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna reveal your identities. I'm more professional than that. I've been talking to this one, and she kind of nods over to you for you for some time about getting you all together to sit down for a powwow. For a while now, you've been stumbling about your own ways, doing your own things, coming together when it suited you, and putting a stop to some crime rings and to some heavy-duty theft, and now a giant ant. City already believes you're a team. Media already believes you're a team. Hell, members of government believe you're a team.
They're looking for a team, and
So-
we're not a team. It makes it harder for them to find us.
Yes, but as a team, you would have funding. Better costumes, not thrown together, mishmash, whatever. Or,
You
Giant-
helped me design this.
oh, I'm not talking about you. You
Thank
are
you.
pristine.
Thank you. She kind of does the hair flip thing, but not like super obvious, just very subtle. Like, thank you.
You can see Max just kind of shake his head like.
And she's like, I don't want to hear it. You destroy clothes. That was a beautiful suit that you destroyed today. She like looks at you very judgmental.
And Euphoria is definitely doing the wide-eyed, like, thank you. Like, you did.
So, I wanna, but I don't know if I.
Like Flashpoint takes umbrage. He's like looking at his flaming Jordans.
Okay, there's nothing
You know
wrong
what?
with the flaming Jordans. That's
Oh,
that's
go ahead.
fucking cool.
I looked it up to make sure, because I wanted to make sure that it could be a canon part of my outfit. There are several sets of like Jordans with like custom flame on them.
Yeah, there is.
Either a flaming swoosh or just like it's the sneaker on fire. He
Mhm.
has like the sneaker on fire version.
That's funny.
Just-
But no, yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You said you were going to say something.
Yeah, I was just gonna make it quick, but yeah, no, he would definitely just look back at her and say, "I said I'd fix it."
Right. So-
Look, I know that the media and everything says we're a team. Doesn't mean we are a team. However, I do admit that with our small time together, we have had a bit of a interesting synergy. despite not really being together that long or knowing each other that well, she may have a point.
If it means anything to any of you, you would be receiving financial backing and support from my wing of the company.
We don't exactly do this to be someone's hired out help.
And you wouldn't be. I'm not talking about hired out help. If anything, we're helping you. I mean, you've gotten by fair enough. So you're running on very mishmash and very low tech gadgets. Like, yes, Ant King aside, you know, that was your first taste of going up against another quasi-powered individual. Things are picking up in the city. You're going to need support. You're going to need here that can actually protect you. You're going to need a place to call a base of operations. You're going to need something. You can't keep calling your homes your base of operations. That's putting way too many people at risk.
I don't know. As she's saying that, by the way, as she's saying that, you can see Max is getting more and more like offended and aggravated.
Look, it is tedious trying to hide certain tech and suits awkwardly, willy-nilly all around. I do admit. It is quite frustrating. A base of operations would be nice.
There are some advantages to getting some tech. As the up close starts thinking back to all the YouTube videos, she probably has like playlist after playlist, and she can't get to any of them quickly now because there's just too many.
And getting to know how each other operates will definitely cause less damage. We don't have to be best friends, but
Look,
Well,
give
we
it a
don't have to be
try a
best
while.
friends, but to at least show that we can eventually trust each other for our synergies to become even greater. I'm not saying that we eventually will. Maybe we won't. I don't know. But for now, it's better than just showing up awkwardly, somewhat telling each other what to do or giving information here and there and then just disappearing into the night. It's a bit awkward.
It's
Also,
awkward, and it's really hard to make a concrete plan that I can work with my powers.
And she kind of looks at you and is like, and it's very tedious deleting all of your guys' images off of CCTV cameras around the city. The only reason they don't know who you are or where you don't live is because I've been working my ass off making sure that you aren't followed home at night.
And I appreciate you for doing that.
Max,
Truly.
oh, go ahead.
No, that's it. She was just adding.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought you were done. That's my bad.
Dramatic pause.
No, yeah. Max is still going to look a little grumpy and he'll say, for the record, I'm anything but low tech. That being said, you know what? Rallying and allying against the evil doings of villains is definitely the American way. I say we form a team. And he'll extend a massive hand out forward and say, if I haven't fully introduced myself, I'm Steven Strong. They call me Mr. Strong.
They call me Mr. Pig.
What about the rest of you? You join in the little hand pile?
So cringe. There's probably a moment where Gemma does whisper under her breath, "He is so fucking cringe." Hands go in.
Frankie just goes in. She's like, you know what? I'm down for the hand. I'm always down for a hand pile.
Do you introduce yourself as well? If anything, your hero name?
I mean, I thought they knew my name.
Yeah, but
It's just making a statement because he did
just
it.
making a statement. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the cringe.
This is
Embrace the
You know,
cringe.
don't kill the part of you that cringes, don't kill the part of you that's cringe, kill the part of you that cringes.
Exactly.
Gotta own it. All right.
Always cringy.
If she says that, he'll actually laugh.
She does. Oh, she does.
But yeah, he's 100% laughing because he knows that she knows that he knows. So he's literally just gonna laugh when she says that.
I guess I'm in. Doppler, by the way.
Well, that's quite the effect.
Jesus Christ. I'm making a cringe emote. It's happening now. I'm
Yeah,
making
we
a
have
And
to.
it happens to
We
me, it
have
has
to.
to be him.
Hmm.
Replica will walk up and throw her hand on the pile and be like, Replica.
I'd say give me 5, but that's a give me 10 moment.
I swear, can you
Superpower
stop for
dad
5
jokes.
Just
minutes?
stares at him.
Can you
He gets a
stop for
slow
5
blink.
minutes?
When I'm gonna out of character get murdered for this. He kind of looks at Euphoria and raises an eyebrow.
Amelia kind of like pushes you towards the group.
Yes. Euphoria. Pleasure. She'll put her hand and like side-eye quick glance at
Don't you dare make
Max,
one.
like, don't you fucking dare.
You see Max like mouth half open, like he was about to say it, and then he just shuts it.
And Amelia kind of like looks at the other two. Are you two gonna join in on the team building exercise here?
I think at this point, Cryptid kind of like hunches down a little bit, so it's almost eye level with everyone else, and he kind of looks around and like, more barbecues as team.
You are wonderfully terrifying.
This guy knows how it goes. Yes, more barbecue as a team.
Amelia kind of like nods. She's like, there will be a 24-hour commissary for all of your eating needs.
Oh hell.
Cryptid, as it puts its clawed hand on the pile.
Love it.
I love it.
I love him.
The flashpoint just goes. Well, if I can get my hands on some of that super secret tech, I don't mind hanging around with you guys for a while. And he puts his hand in the pile and he goes, flashpoint.
And as soon as like all of your hands are in the middle, Amelia kind of puts her hand on the top. You've only known me as the voice that's been giving you guys information for every now and then. I'm Amelia Masterson, but you can call me Jump Scare. And she like brings up another phone and she like puts in a number and calls, like, Bradley, get the dorms ready. The Vigilant 6 are on their way. And that is where we are going to end for this time.
Oh my god, this is the first game where we have a team name.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
The DM had to
no.
give it to us.
when the first game where I'm the DM, where you guys have a team name, because we have the Mimsy 6 as well.
Oh, that's true. That's fair. That is
Two
true.
out of a handful of games where we actually have team names.
We're just
What's your
trying to
name?
become a team.
name?
10 years
Well,
of
I'm
doing
so
this,
and
and
so.
we've only named our team twice.
But
What
yes,
do you call yourselves, a group of adventurers? Oh, well, I'm so and so. This is so and so. No, your team name.
They're the Z
Sorry, team name.
yeah, we
like
have
you get
we have
duo
team up
names.
names like the Z-Flings and stuff like that, but you don't have you know, full-on team names.
Mm-hmm.
Just thinking that if I hadn't given the name out, like nobody, like they wouldn't have a name. But you know, when you're a group of adventurers who are seen adventuring around, or not adventurers but heroes, seen teaming up and everything, you know, the media will give you a name, as it's just easier than to describe the 6 individuals or whatnot who took part in the ordeal. So I didn't give you the name.
Those 6 guys over there.
Yeah, those 6 guys, those 6 superheroes. Actually, Metro Johnny Jordan was the one who gave you your name.
Oh, fuck that guy.
Fucking
I want to
Johnny.
change it now.
We love him, but we hate him.
He's our number one.
He's a
fan.
good kid.
I'm your number
He
one
is,
fan.
but-
He's allowed to dream like any American should.
Johnny's a lot, but you know, he's a good guy. Maybe drinks maybe a couple too many 5-hour Mountain Dews, but
For the
if
record,
anyone wants to know what a 5-hour Mountain Dew is, it's when you take a Mountain Dew, you combine it with a Red Bull energy drink, and then a 5-hour energy, and then you drink it all together.
No,
That's a heart attack.
Yeah,
No, that's a heart attack.
Yeah.
That's a heart attack.
I know a guy who does
You
that.
had it?
No, I haven't had that. No, fuck no.
Who does that?
One of the guys I used to work with, he's like, no, fuck that. That is way too much caffeine even for me.
Oh
But
god.
Matt's being over the top. I think he kind of appreciates Johnny's enthusiasm.
Oh yeah, he is totally a Mr. Strong fanboy.
Look, we appreciate him, just not in the morning.
That's 100% agreed.
At that point, we
Fair.
kind of blame Anthony, though.
We do, but Gemma can't blame Anthony, so Johnny's getting the brunt.
But
And I mean, Max knows that he plays on the radio and he's a supporter of theirs, so a little bit of fan service definitely goes a long way, as they say.
Mhm.
If you really want to make him lose his mind, tell him you'll do an interview on his show.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And
Don't
you know
let
what,
that explode.
and watch
Maybe
Perkins
we'll go-
watch Perkins flip her shit.
Maybe we'll
Yep.
go and like give him like a token, a knick-knack or something at some point, and then
Yes.
leave it at that. We're not going
It's
the
a
full
signed
interview
it's a
route.
signed picture of Max giving like a thumbs up with like an explosion and 2 bald eagles flying overhead.
There you
Super
go. So something
America.
like that signed,
No.
you know.
You go the route of Mass Effect, and this is my favorite radio,
There
favorite
you
channel
go.
on the
There
radio.
you
I'm
go.
Commander Shepard. This is my favorite radio station on the Citadel.
There you go.
I'm Steven
Exactly.
Stone.
He gives
I'm
him
Matt
like
Strong, and
a,
this is my favorite show in
he
the whole of Metro
gives him-
City.
he gives him like a flattened bullet. He's like, yeah, this one bounced off me last week.
There you
Kind of.
go. That's it.
You
Stay
know
in
he's
school,
got
kid.
memorabilia just hung out in like his basement or something, just like all labeled of where he acquired it from who and what happened.
Yes.
So that is going to do it for us for now. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in, as this is episode 1 of Vigilant 6. This is a twice a month show. We will be it's going to be happening on every other Saturday. So the next Saturday that this happens on is on the 3rd. And that is going to be a huge day of D&D, because that will be Withered Wastes, Behold Lore.
We can't do
and then
Behold
this.
Lore that day. We can't. We're
We're
gonna
gonna
have to
have
do
to put-
Behold Lore
we're-
like a Sunday or
Yeah.
something. We can't do that all 3 days.
I mean, we could, but
That's
my
a
voice
lot.
would be
Oh.
shredded.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
But yeah, so coming up the following week, or this upcoming week, on Monday we've got another episode of Destiny Forged, which is our longest running flagship show, currently in its 3rd campaign, which is run by me. And then Tuesday we have Star Wars Tales of the Outer Rim, which is a Star Wars 5th edition mod game run by Tiltbot. On this upcoming Thursday is going to be another episode of Tricorn Isles, which is another 5th edition game that I run. On the alternating week, we have Mass Effect Horizons, which is a Mass Effect 5th edition mod that Zorro runs. And then on this upcoming this upcoming Saturday.
Friday. There's the Friday.
No, it's the Friday after. Isn't it?
No, it's this next Friday.
Is it next Friday? Is it the 26th?
It's Saturday, huh?
You're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't play on the 12th, did we? No, we didn't.
No, I think you got
No,
really sick. And I
That's
think
right.
someone else-
That's
yeah.
right. Okay, yeah. So on this upcoming Friday, my bad, I don't know how to read a calendar. Is going to be another episode of Under the Mountain, which is a Kids on Brooms game run by Sugar Love, and it is their first time DMing and being completely crazy to do it on live stream. But it is an amazing little Kids on Brooms game where we play a bunch of would-be wizards at a community college. And this
Earning their magical licenses.
yep, permit.
Magical
Permit.
Permit. And then
Do what I want.
yeah, on this upcoming Saturday we will have another episode of Wayward Wanderers, which is a Pathfinder 2 Extinction Curse campaign run by Azerin. On the rotating Saturday is Withered Waste, which is another 5th edition game that I run. And in those Saturdays will also be episodes of Vigilant 6 as well. But this is going to do it for us for episode 1 here. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. And we will see you on Monday.